What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. We are live here for the Miami Dolphins open panel. Let's talk football. Any and everybody will be able to join the conversation. The link to the chat has been posted. You should see it pinned at the top of the comment section. If you want to come in, talk Miami Dolphins football, what's on your mind, this is your opportunity. We just left Miami Sports Music. Shout out to the Miami Sports Music family. Had great conversation over there, and we want to continue the conversation over here. So your opportunity is now. The link is at the top of the chat, so you'll be able to click on it and join the conversation. Um, Everybody is welcome. Nobody is unwelcome. What's up, Rashard?
What's happening?
I'm good, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. We're gonna let some more people come in. We're gonna have some good talk, back and forth and talk some of this stuff out, man. And this is what's healthy, man. This is what's healthy. And also we got the coach coming up. We'll be talking a little bit about that as well. Get in here, Dwayne. Get in here, Dwayne. D Dub, Breeder G in the house. What's up, brother? Y'all hit that like button as more people come in. Quint in the house. What's up, man?
What's going on? What's going on?
I'm good. I'm good. All right.
Hey,
Let
I'm
me see
3-0 on that on fantasy now.
what happened.
I'm 3-0 on fantasy now.
Yeah, you're a cheater, man. Don't worry about it. I'm still going to the league, bro.
You
I'm
mean
still
we
going with the
3-0?
Hey, so if y'all don't mind, before we even get to the stuff we were in, I did want to ask y'all real quick, man, about this week on the Colts game. If y'all want to go around, man, what do y'all actually expect out of this game?
I'm hoping that the Dolphins will finally be able to establish a running game, consistent run game. I think that in the focus of wanting to see Tua and Waddle and Wilson and and Parker and Fuller, we've lost sight of what's sort of important to all that other stuff, which is an important run game. And I think that what you saw last week was encouraging and should motivate the OCs to call more run plays. So I'd like to see that, and I want to hopefully see Andrew Van Ginkel have an impact. I want to see continued use of Jalen Phillips. He had more snaps in this last game than he did previously. So I want to see that. Those are the three things that I'm hopeful for.
I'm here for that. You know,
Well, who
Colts
are
have a great defense. You said
who
what?
has the better team, y'all?
Who's the better team?
Yeah.
Colts.
Wow,
Well,
with all the injuries that the Colts have, I would be shocked if anybody would say the Colts
I'm gonna say
because you're
this.
looking at what the team is at this point in time. I would be very disappointed if the Dolphins do not win this game
I
because of
think the
all the injuries that the Colts have endured. When
I
you
think
looked at this season, at the schedule, you were saying that these first five games, all were going to be tough games, no matter what. And it seems as though now this one is the easiest one when this one was probably not. Definitely not going to be the easiest one. Everybody looked at the Raider game as the easiest one out of these first five. This is the game the Dolphins have to win because right now, both on paper and by the record, they're the better team. And you have to get out
TD. I think the
fast. This team is
mic
0
messing up.
3. They have to get out fast on the Colts. Don't allow them to think that they could possibly change that record. That it's the losses are going to continue. You have to put that into their thoughts quickly.
I think the
When
Colts
it comes to the
are.
If
Colts,
we win, we're gonna win because of our defense.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like the Colts are overall better coach. which gives them the advantage. They know that what's our weakness on defense, stopping the run. They have a great young running back. They have a great offensive coordinator. They have a great offensive line, and that counters what we do defensively when we're trying to force you to pass or bait you into
I don't
bad
want to
throws.
put that pressure. The Colts are beat up, bro. The left tackle is Julian Davenport. Quentin Nelson's out. Okay.
Nope.
Carson Wentz, both of his ankles are still banged up.
Yep.
They're gonna be
Yep.
banged up. Them things are not healing up anytime soon. We have an advantage here. Those guys are banged up. We're at home. We
I'm
cannot
not
lose
saying
another home game.
I'm not
We
saying
we
we don't.
look. This is what we need to stop the run. That's what they're gonna come out to try to do. They have no pass protection right now, so their only strength right
Where
now
you gotta
is
go?
trying to run the ball.
Is that
The Colt, if we can take them out, three and
no, no,
out, three
no?
and
Because
out.
you trying to beat me up.
This is actually the versus the Colts. I think is actually the perfect game to actually try
Don't
to
beat me
play
up.
aggressive early and open it up early. We have to, man. We got to change it up. That's all we need to see. Because I got a feeling the Colts are gonna play us just like the Raiders did. They don't blitz much. They depend on a four-man front pass rush, and it works effectively. So they're gonna play almost just like the Raiders. We just need to throw those deep shots early and keep throwing them. Don't stop. We have too many weapons for that. I don't think we're gonna lose this game, but if we do lose this game, I guarantee you it's gonna be because of the run game or the Colts run game. They're gonna run all over us.
Well,
That's
I
the only
personally
threat they
think
have.
that this game it's
Who
a
owns
do
our
or die. I
draft
think
pick this year?
this
Just
is
out of
gonna be the
curiosity.
game that kind of sets our season. And the reason why I say that, everything that we just said, if we don't win this game, I don't want to say the season's over, but the season's over. And I know it's only gonna be 1-3, but if you think about it, this is where you establish the momentum to go
Can't do
into.
that. Who owns?
You guys
So
know.
to me, this is a do or die game. We
Do we
have
own
to
our
win
own
this game.
tickets
If we don't
after
win this
yesterday?
game, we don't belong in the playoffs.
No, the thing is, I just
Dolphins
pointed out
own
we're
their
not losing
own
this
draft
game. I
pick
don't
this
think.
year.
I'm gonna jump
Hello?
out and jump back in. I think I
Guys,
is
do the
it
Dolphins
is it
own their
me
own
that's
draft pick this year?
yeah, we have a first round draft pick.
Yeah, we have the Niners first round draft pick, which seems to be somewhere in the late 20s, the
We
way
have this.
they're
All right,
playing.
so
And
even if we lose this game,
Yeah, we lose this game. Well,
so
I'm not gonna say this game because we can get hot later on in the season, like we've done in the last
well,
few
you know
it
years.
what?
doesn't do anything for us.
No,
8K,
but
We
realistically,
have to
you
just
could
keep
only
winning,
lose like
obviously.
5 games to make it
yeah.
to the playoffs.
Hold
Exactly.
on. 8K
No,
Slater made a good point. He said last year the Dolphins were 1-3 last year, and they were, and they came one game away from making the playoffs. Now,
Yeah,
that being said, you can't afford to lose games in your conference. And this conference game could go a long way to impacting whether you are a wild card uh, recipient. And
That's correct.
That's
this you can't afford to go because you've already lost to the Raiders. That's 0-1 in the conference. You've already lost to Buffalo, so that makes you 0-2 in the conference and 1-0 and 1-1 in the division. But you lose this Colts game. You lose 2 games early in the conference. Again, it impacts your ability to make it as a wild card. And since you're already going to be probably 2 games behind Buffalo, now both your wild card and your division uh, prospects look a little bleaker. So it is important to win this game.
it is very important because we don't want to have to wait to the very last game to determine whether we're going to make it to the playoffs or not. We want to know that by the third to last game, where we're in a situation when, okay, we only need we only need one out of the last 2 or one out of the last 3, where we're able to go ahead and not have to put as much pressure on the team to make it to the playoffs. But
Yeah.
if we do what we did last year and we give it up to just one game, look at what happened. And I'm not going to discuss that game because it was very frustrating. But I don't want to put the entire
Is any of this going to matter?
season on one game at the end when we can really lock it up in these first games that most people don't think about. Just like D-Dub just said, these are the games that people don't think about, but they're going to actually have a lot of weight at the end of the season.
You know what's surprising? And that's a very good point there. But you know what's surprising? Me, myself, I don't know how you guys feel, but I had us going 1-3 in the first 4 games of the season. And my first win of the season was actually the 4th game versus the Colts. So if we could actually beat the Colts and go to 2-2, my expectations already got met, and the Dolphins did better than what I expected them to do starting off the season. That's just me. So I think if we can pull off this win, which is clearly capable, we cannot just lose another home game. That's all I think. We cannot lose at the Rock. That's the most. We have to set a standard. We have to set a tone. When we go to these seats, we know our team is gonna win. No matter what, we have that chance. So
This is not a playoff-ready team.
right now, the Dolphins, I'm telling you right now, we beat the Colts. Get ready because we're gonna go on a run. I feel like we're gonna go on a run. We
All
just
the way to
switched
the
it up
next game and lose to the Tampa Bay.
I mean,
all the way. I'm telling you, we're gonna go on a little run right now, and it's gonna surprise the rest of the league. I feel it. Bro, we got embarrassed by Buffalo.
The way that our schedule is set up, we can do that. The way that our schedule is set up, we can do that after the Bucks game. But if we don't take care of the Colts now, and we still lose to the Bucks, then it's just, even if we go on a run, like D-Dub said, we're not going to have enough, or we're going to put ourselves in a situation where we have to win every single game the last, 7 games for us to make it to the playoffs, and that's too much pressure. Most teams don't do that.
100%.
Well, like you guys pointed out, we're only 1 game behind the division right now. We're sitting in 2nd place. I know it's
only 1 game now, but if you think about it, you're gonna end up only being 2 games out, or only being if you don't take care of these types of games
right now. Who's talking? We could only talk about right now where we stand at right now. If we want to talk future, I could say we're going to be leading the division in the future in a couple weeks. I could say that, and that can't be wrong and out of the realm either. We're talking about right now, this week, tying it up and standing where we stand. We're going to beat the Colts.
1 game at a time.
Exactly. So,
sorry guys, I didn't introduce myself. It's Jolie. Hi.
Jolie, nice. Thank you for coming up and everybody up here. But what are some of the matchups you guys think are going to give us problems at the Colts? And what are some of the things you guys want to see differently on our team?
Running game.
The play calling for us offensively. That's what I want to see. Period. Point blank. I'm not worried about what the Colts are going to do or what they're going to bring. We know what they're going to do, so we should be prepared for that. Period. Point blank. But we need to switch up our game. We need to the ball. We need to stop trying to force things.
Stopping the run should be bad.
Don't do well. We know what we don't do well. We don't block well. Let's stop putting our quarterback in a situation where we got to hold on to the ball, or where we're throwing pitches to tight ends behind this line of scrimmage. It makes no sense. Like these are play call screens in the end zone. In our own end zone. These are plays that are forced. We're not the Kansas City Chiefs. We're not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're not that team where we have the ability to do these things. Our offensive line isn't built for this. Our offensive line doesn't run script. How many successful screenplays have we ran under Flores? Can anybody remember any of them just breaking for 30 yards of screenplay? No, because our offensive line don't get out and block. Our wide receivers do not block in open field. That's just things that we do not do well. There's college teams that do that better than we do. Honestly, it makes no sense. At the end of the day, it's something that seems
and that's why I said earlier, everybody has to be accountable for what they're responsible for. Okay, and if you look at certain plays, you see what I'm talking about. If you see a block that Devontae Spark is supposed to make, and he whiffs, you see Gesicki whiffing on blocks downfield. You see bad play calling. Everybody has to be accountable for what they're responsible for. And so far this year, a lot of the players and some of the coaches have not owned up and been responsible for what they're supposed to do. They haven't done it. And that goes to what Rashad was saying, and that goes to what there was somebody else, I forgot who was talking, in regards to changing up and being situationally wise to play calling and doing what you're supposed to do on that play. Everybody wants to think about this as it's Tua's fault, or it's all on the offensive line, or it's all on the OC. Everybody has to take is blame is got some blame in this, and everybody has to take responsibility for what they're supposed to do.
100%.
I agree with that.
It's just like
They need to react quicker to situations too.
I honestly feel like I'm gonna say offensively and defensively, there's no team leader. Like legit, who do we look at and say he's? We feel Xavier should be the leader, 100%. But we know that he's not that vocal guy like that. You can say Byron Jones, but Byron Jones ain't got that dog in him. He's just the
Well, you know, the leader on that defense last year, it wasn't Kyle Van Noy, and I'm not saying that he should still be here, but that was Bobby McCain. Bobby McCain was the leader on defense.
true.
Okay, so to his point, there's a leadership vacuum on the defense. Now on the offense, they chose Jesse Davis, but sometimes leaders have to set an example. And when when you're unable to make blocks, and that inability ends up damaging your quarterback, you don't have the right to be calling people out later on about what they're not doing. So there's some leadership void there. Sorry, my phone is ringing. I like Patrice Rushen.
Great song.
But there's some leadership voids on this team, and you have people who are not doing the job that are in leadership roles. So they can't tell somebody, and they can't motivate somebody if they're not doing the job themselves, and they need to be motivated.
I agree.
And I don't like to say certain names, but FM, who just put in the comment, Jonathan Taylor is a beast. He meant feast. He said feast, but a beast. Yes, he's correct. That is a key. That's another thing that Baker and Landon Roberts and Butler and Jenkins and Wilkins and Seiler have to be dominant, especially with the fact that Quentin Marlin is not in the game, Quentin Nelson's not in the game, and Julian Davenport is in the game. You have to take advantage of what weaknesses are on that team.
Right.
But my thing is it's like the defense, the linebackers, they're playing too far back. That's why they're not helping out in the run game. That's my personal opinion. If you stack them in the A and B hole, they'll help out the defensive linemen because they're getting penetration. They're just not making the play when they need to make the play in the backfield or stopping for a short loss or a short gain. I feel like every time I see a running back, they're getting 3 or 4 yards up the field and they're making the tackle. I want to see less positive yards. If I see
Well,
less positive yards, that's what I like to see.
well, you see last week the Dolphins. It seems like every week the Dolphins are making some running back that is not a focal point
Yeah,
the star of the game.
yeah.
That was Darryl Singletary in the previous game. It was Damian Harris in the first game and Peyton Barber in this last game.
He was
This has to
scrub.
stop.
Yeah, he's a scrub too. I'm not trying to be mean, but he was a scrub.
I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna go that far. Nobody in the NFL is a scrub.
Would be honest with you, he was a scrub. Just be
He's
honest.
not somebody who you would think would have such a dominant game.
Yeah.
You can say that, but to say somebody who is part of a list of about 400, 500 people in the world right now who are on a roster is a scrub. Nah, I'm not gonna go that far with somebody, but I will say that his impact did not match what the expectations were going into that game.
Yeah.
I got a question
just so
for
you
the
guys
panel.
know. Wow. Can I go first?
Sure, you were here first.
Okay. Just so everybody knows, I think Phillips will get his first sack this weekend.
About time.
Well,
Right.
he come close, but I think this weekend he'll get it.
He needs to have 2 or 3 sacks versus Julian Davenport.
Let's get the
way
first
we ragged
one,
on him.
and then worry about the next one.
Let me ask you guys a question. Maybe you guys don't feel the same way I feel. I know the fan base has been begging for a running game here, right? We want to run the ball. Don't you guys agree with me that the way we've been using Waddle is almost to like an extension of the run game, just passing it to him behind the line of scrimmage?
No, I don't agree that it technically it is, but there's a mindset to running the ball. There's a mindset to it, and it opens up those slants easier when you got when the linebackers have to focus for even if it's a half a second and think, are they running the ball?
Yep.
D-Dub, have you watched any of the Pittsburgh games?
I watched the Pittsburgh Buffalo game, and I saw some of the Pittsburgh Raider game. I didn't see much. I listened to the Pittsburgh Bengals game, so I did hear it on my way.
The Pittsburgh Bengal game, the running back that everybody wanted, okay, was dealing with the same kind of offensive line like we have. And he has, look at how many catches he has. It's all punch and Judy. He was doing the same thing as our number 1 pick was doing, which is basically getting all these punch and Judy catches because he can't run behind that line.
Yeah.
Yes. And you know what? I know you're talking about Najee Harris, correct?
Yep, that's who I'm
talking about. So when your offensive line is as ineffectual and has had injuries the way the Steelers have, the best way to get the running back out in space where he can have an impact is to throw short passes to him. So it makes sense, but that's not what they brought him there for. That's not what they brought him there for. They brought him there to provide the wham and bam like they had in the past with so many other big running backs that the Steelers have had.
But Najee Harris is a good. That's the reason why I wanted us to draft Najee Harris, because he was a good pass catcher.
Yes, that was one of his attributes. But the Steeler mentality, if you look at it for the last 30 years.
I'm going to run it down your throat.
I mean,
has always been, I'm going to run it down your throat, and it doesn't matter how many people you have on the defensive line, we're still coming at you. It's 3rd and 1. We need this. We're going to run the ball. It's 5 minutes left in the game. We're running the clock out on you. Okay? And it goes from Jerome Bettis to what's the other guy? Oh man,
Zero way on Willie Parker.
They've had so many big backs.
Yeah.
That
Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, yep. I mean,
Harris.
well, I know about Franco, but there was another guy like in the before Bettis, but you know, they've
You
always had
talking
that
about
mentality. They've always had that mentality of
Look,
running the ball physically,
you know
and
what?
that's
You know what?
Pittsburgh Steelers offense
When you
with the
brought
way
up
they
that
do
third
things.
and one, it brought my mentality back to the game where Malcolm Brown can't convert on 3rd and 1.
and
This
some
is
of
what I
that
keep
is
saying. We need to get
on
away
him, and
from
some
that.
of that is on the O line as well.
No, man. You know what? It's on the coaching staff. Pass the ball. I don't want to see a run call. Matter of fact, I, I don't want to see
You
a run play
can't
anymore on the
pass the
Dolphins.
ball all
We
the
need to
time. You
figure
have
out the quarterback position. We need to figure out how to call great pass plays.
But
That's
Pete,
all.
Pete,
you can't be that one dimensional, Pete.
can't
You'll
be that
never
One
win in the
dimensional. The
NFL.
Buffalo Bills are
that's why
passing at a
they
70% rate. That's what we need to do. The
No, you don't
Jaguars,
need to do that.
70% rate.
that's a
That's it.
mistake.
We
That's a
need to.
mistake.
you
You
can't
can't
do
do
that, Pete.
70%.
What do you mean, bro? We got
You
the
can't
best
do that.
quarterback coming out of college, and you're gonna
You
tell
can't do
me
that.
You
we
can't
got
do
You
Tua,
can't do that,
and you're
70%,
gonna
Pete.
tell me
Pete.
you
Pete,
want to
you
have a
You
can't do
can't do
that.
power
that,
run
Pete.
game? No,
You can't
bro.
run the
When
ball. You
Tua
can't
comes
pass the
back,
ball
we better see
75,
5
You'll
receivers
get
75% of
your
the
catch,
time
quarterback
and we
killed
and
in
better
win
the
in
be
the
throwing that
NFL.
ball
It's
every
just
pass,
not
bro.
doable. It's not
Simple and plain.
doable, Pete. It's not doable. Your quarterback would take such a pounding over the season, and whether it's quick passes or not, he would take such a
Well,
pounding.
Dwayne, let me
And then you
fix.
also
Maybe I'm talking.
you would
Dwayne,
have
Hold on,
the
Dwayne.
fact
Let me
that
fix it, Dwayne. Hold on. Let me fix what I was saying then. All right. Then maybe we should go what Flores said he was gonna do. All right. Maybe we should open up the run by passing first. Okay. I don't want to have
No,
first
we are
first
running
quarter,
this.
first play of the game,
Pete,
strong formation.
Pete, this team is a run first team, then pass. If you watch the
what is the
personnel they put on the
and
field,
what
But show,
Pete,
show, show
let me
pass.
say this to
Show
you. Let me
pass
say
every
this to
play.
you. What is RPO? What is RPO?
Listen,
And what is it?
pass,
And what is
pass, pass.
no no no
That's
no
all
no
I
no.
want to see. Open up.
RPO
Start.
is run
option.
pass option. Run pass option. Run pass option. So
Okay.
in order for
Okay.
all of those quick
Okay.
slants to
Say it
work
again for
even
Pete
more
so he gets it.
effectively, then you have to have an established run game.
Nobody. No.
Run
First of all,
pass
we're
option.
not even seeing. You're talking RPO, Dwayne. Like that's where we're running the whole game. What do you RPO RP? What is RPO? What I know what an
Run
RPO
pass
offense is,
option.
but we're not running that the whole game. So why are you bringing that up? We're switching it up to.
What happened? They muted Pete. What happened?
He probably lost his connection.
Oh, I was like, what happened?
So,
But this team should be a run heavy team that would play action pass with the weapons we have on the outside. We'll benefit more if you run the ball more. If you run the ball, if you give Gaskins 15 carries a game, split the other 10, 15 carries with the other two backs, and this team it'll be rolling. That's what I feel.
the team has to become unpredictable. Right now, they're too predictable.
Hey, I gotta run. I'll be back. TD, I'll be back in about 25, 30 minutes, man. I gotta go. I gotta take care of something real quick.
You're good, bro. We got an open panel. If anybody want to come say their piece, because I'm working on my other business right now on the computer while
See,
y'all chopping it
y'all
up.
make me want to start the show back up again. I'm gonna have to start it back up so I can open it up for people in the late in the morning, early afternoon. I'll be back.
All right, bro. But to what y'all were.
So D-Dub, at this point, if you had control of the Dolphins, what would you do first?
You said D-Dub. D-Dub just left.
I'm sorry, TD. I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good. If I had control of the Dolphins,
yes. What would you do?
What would I do right now?
Yeah, what would you do now?
At this very moment with our team situation, where we're at.
To try at least to make something of this year, what would you do?
First, at this moment, I would just first of all, I would go get Deshaun Watson. I would try my very best to keep Tua Tagovailoa on this roster as an asset to develop behind Deshaun Watson. I would also I would try to figure out a way to figure out my right tackle situation because Jesse Davis ain't getting it done and they're trying to figure out everything they can at that position right now. I would also get rid of the extra pieces that I don't feel is necessary. I would go ahead and trade Jakeem Grant if I can. I would trade Albert Wilson if I can. I would bring Kurt Merritt off of the practice squad because I don't see what they're giving me that he wouldn't at this point. What else would I do?
Would you trade Devontae Parker?
Not yet. Next year he's done, but not right now at this very moment. I would also
trade him for a left tackle.
Now I would also trade. Yeah. I would also trade Xavier Howard for draft capital and a starting caliber guard. I would move on because Xavier Howard gives us a lot on defense, but at the same token, bringing in Watson, I just offset that, and I would be making my O-line better and picking up a draft pick at the same token because I'm not going to continue with Xavier Howard long term. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm fighting my 3-year-old.
No, we understand. Everybody.
Yeah,
has
we
kids.
get it.
Yeah. But that's pretty much what I would do right now. Those are some of the things I would do.
Well, I have a quick question because this is something I forgot who, when we were talking about it, but I remember in this last game, I was so frustrated because I said it. I'm like, you have Mike Gesicki. He's literally your biggest target because he's just physically your biggest target. They're allowing him all over the middle. He is super wide open. Not even just wide open, like super wide open. And it's like not at all. And I don't want to hear that he doesn't have enough time because of the O line. That's BS because he was able to get out of the pocket and extend the play. And that's why Gesicki has been getting really upset because he's like, I'm wide open. Why are you not hitting me? And all they want to do is these little bubble screens in the end zone to Waddle. And I'm just like, come on, guys. Like, he's one of our biggest assets, if not our literal biggest asset. We need to use the crap out of Gesicki. And you'll see that our numbers are going to be much better when it comes to offense. But that's just my take. I was just as frustrated as he was in the game because he was so open. It hurt. So many plays we could have gotten, but he wasn't being used right at all. And then when you saw at the end of the game is when they started using him. Catch. He caught like 10 straight. And I'm just like, why didn't they think about this? Maybe the first and second quarter, we would have never had to go to overtime, and we would have actually won the game. But no, they want to actually use them at the very end when we have zero hope. And I'm even surprised that we even made it to actually tie the game itself. And I'm just like, come on, if we use the same intensity at the end and look at how Gesicki was working for you, use them the whole game, and we won't be in these situations. But that's just my take on it. I just want to put that out there. What do you think about Gesicki and how he's been using TD? He's been used. Or anybody else?
Well, the way I would think, Gesicki, the thing is, he mostly gets his passes down the slot. He doesn't go across the middle. If he went across the middle more, yeah, we can use him because right now you need a tight end that's going to go across the middle. Somebody who's going to be that short pass, grab that ball and move the chains. The typical tight end that most people get.
I tend to disagree with that because if you look at a lot of the most effective tight ends, they're running up the seam. We have these small little receivers, these quick twitch guys for the middle. Oh, by the way, TD, thanks for having me. You know, I'm one of those long-time listeners, first-time caller. Okay.
Oh,
welcome, Bojo.
Well, he's your slot tight end. That's what he is.
I know, but he should be being used up the seam, and he's open.
Use him up the seam. He has to play off the line. I mean, I'm sorry. To use him the way I want to use him, you'd have to play him off the line, which isn't going to happen.
But you could send him in motion. But here's the thing. She brought it up, and I'm glad that she brought it up because we thinking about, hey, bringing Watson We're going to lose two of this. But the thing is, I feel like Gesicki is one of those weapons that we might lose next year to free agency. And
let's
I feel
put it
like
this
when
way: he's not playing for us next year. It's not going to happen.
and because of the frustration that we're not using him right, and the numbers are not going to show that. But we're going to
The
be
guy's
sick.
not going to want to sign with us again next year, only because of
We
the
are
way
going to
he's
be
being
sick
used.
when he's putting up these monster numbers with another team that use him properly.
Mm-hmm.
He'll
And
end
that's
up
what I
going
feel
to
like is
New
going to happen.
Orleans or somewhere else.
No,
They'll
but
use
think
him
about it. Look,
properly.
he may not be as big, as physical as, let's say, Waller or Kelsey. Let's be honest, he's not that jacked up, but he is, in a way, very similar. He's our Dolphin version of those two guys. So if we were to use him like Kelsey and Waller are being used, when they are being used up the seam, like Von Joe just said,
If you use
or
him
to
like
be
that, he
used.
won't last the season. He's
Are
just
you
not
kidding
made
me?
that
That
way.
man is physical. Are you
Yeah, but
serious?
look at what happened last year. We started using him like that. He ended up hurt. By the end of the year, he was done.
Nah, he got a cheap shot. He got hit real hard. It was a cheap
Exactly. That was a fluke injury. I think any tight end would have got hit like that would have got injured.
No.
Because
I'm
if
just
you
telling
notice, they
you,
were
when you
going.
My
use
point
him,
exactly.
you expose the guy, and that's what's going to happen if you
So what
use
you
him too
think
much.
going to happen to Waddle? They keep using him the same way. The
To
same.
me, we're putting our number 6 pick in danger by having him
Yeah.
do all this stuff. And why did we just get the number 6 pick to run back and do a punt return? I don't want this multiple millions of dollars rookie doing that when we lose Waddle. What do we have?
I don't think they're going to be doing that so easily anymore.
You sure about that? Because I don't
I'm
see
not sure about that because
Jakeem being used.
with this team, I can't be sure about anything, especially with this coaching staff.
And that's another thing. The coaching was atrocious this last game. Atrocious.
It was
How do
bad.
we
It
run the
was free
same
freeze. It was
running
free freeze.
play on 3-2 and then 4-2?
The,
And I'm
the
like,
team has no leadership. It starts right from the play calling all the way down through the thing. There's no experience.
I got a
that was
question. What should we have kept Mike
There's
Pouncey
no
as
experience. There's
veteran
nobody can
for the
change
offensive line?
the plays in the middle. There's no adjustment being done.
I don't know.
That team in halftime should have made adjustments, and there wasn't any adjustments done.
But the thing
I
is, we
mean,
were up 14-0.
I agree with you. When you're up 14-0, you need to put the you need to take them out.
I
Some
mean,
teams can do
some.
that. Other teams need to manage the game and kill the clock. We
Well,
are
you
the
just
team that
pounded the
manages the
ball
game
down
and kills
there.
the clock.
You pounded the ball down their throat, and you don't even try to do the same thing.
We actually had a good running game, and
I mean,
we didn't even continue it in the second half,
the running
which
You
is
know
game
what you
sad.
do
was
when you
slightly
do that.
working, but I feel like our running game. A lot of people look at the overall numbers, and they say, "Okay, we should have kept running the ball," but they're not looking at it situational, possession by possession, to why we stopped running the ball. Because a holding, like you could be running the ball and a holding sets you back. And because I noticed with this team, if we fall behind the chains and down in distance and we fall behind and we get off schedule, I know the possession is done. So if we have a penalty and we fall back, because I think it was me and my friends, and Jacoby bailed us out with that pass to Gesicki. But when we were down in distance, and I was like, okay, we're about to punt. This game is over, and we got bailed out, or a penalty had to bail it out. But this is not the team. This is not the type of team where we could fall behind the chains.
Let's put
So
it this way: this team can't handle a holding call on the
Well,
offense.
it's not just that. It's honestly, we don't right now. Our offense is not the type of team that can get us over the hump if we need them to go ahead and be the deciding factor in the game. Because if you look at it, yeah, we had 14-0, but it was 7 in the offense and 7 in the defense that we actually got. It wasn't, oh, our offense got us 14 points. No, our offense and our defense got us 14 points. So if we would have actually had our offense get those 14 points and then add in the extra 7 from the defense,
We
and
got
actually,
spotted 14 points and we lost. That's the joke.
So, TD, I just have one more comment, and you can tell me your opinion on it, right? Because guys, I have to run. I have to run a few errands. This is my day off.
Go ahead, bro.
So, one of my biggest fears, and I have a couple friends that we're part of this Dolphin chat, and we talk about this all the time, and we're part of the people that say, I'm going to be real with you. I'm one of the people that says, I want Watson in Miami, and this is what I understand, that, hey, Watson is not going to fix our O-line issue, but this is what I could believe that happens, is that we're in a situation, and we're in this fork in the road where we have a quarterback that, I'm not saying he's not going to be good, but we do not know what he's going to be in the future. And we have a defense that is there. And we've seen it time and time again. I've been a Dolphin fan for over 25, going on 30 years now, where we've seen our defense be wasted.
Defense is being wasted this year.
Exactly, off offense. So my opinion was, okay, we have 60 million and over 60 million in cap space coming up. We bring in Watson to supercharge the quarterback position. That's a fix. Okay, boom. I'll take the risk on his legal situation, but I'm not going to talk about that. Because at the end of the day, right now, commissioner says he could play. So I'm just going off that. I'm going off facts that I have in front of me right now.
So you're willing to give up 3 first-round picks and 3 third-round
Yes, because guess what? Picks are not guarantees. But right now,
I understand that, but with no restriction.
Especially with the way they're drafting.
Let me finish.
Wait, let him finish.
Because
let him finish.
At the end of the day, we have numbers, we have proven facts of what he's done in the NFL. You're telling me about picks that's done it in college, and where college right now, they run. Some teams run a pro style offense, and I think that's why our O-line have problems, because we say Jackson, but where did Jackson come from? He came from a team that usually ran the ball. So he could probably be a better run blocker than a pass blocker, right?
Look,
but that's neither here nor there. But, okay, we put in Watson to supercharge the quarterback situation. Even if we hold on to Tua, do whatever with them, but at the end of the day, we have a fix at quarterback that we know that put up numbers that could do it at the position. And even if we don't fix the O-line this year and we sustain it, but next year we have the cap space to go for veteran O-linemen to put on the line with some of our young talent. And I think that's the way you can fix the offense. What do you guys think?
All I'm going to say is I agree.
I agree with everything you said, yo, man.
The only thing I don't agree with is the fact that if you're dealing with a situation where you could lose your quarterback because of a legal issue, I'm not.
Again, I said with all the things that are
without the legal issue, I agree with you 100%.
Okay, because the thing is, right now, the legal issue is the legal issue, but right now, the NFL says he could play.
Listen,
yeah, I understand.
I'll put it to you this way:
if it were me.
Oh well, I'll go. Al, the thing is, at the end of the day, he's gonna be the cheapest right now. No matter what we give up, he's gonna be the cheapest. If we wait even another month and go right before the trade deadline, guess who's gonna want him afterwards? It's gonna be the Eagles. It's going to be I can't even think, but the Eagles is probably the number one team I can think about right now besides us.
How about the Bears?
That would give him up.
How about the Bears?
The Bears will exactly. So we have to go ahead and take him now, even if we bench him. Even if we bench him, think about it this way: he can learn the playbook. Tua can still learn behind him, even though Tua's gonna be playing. And by the time all his legal stuff gets cleared up, he already knows our system. He's been practicing in our system. He's been taking care of all of that. And then we're just going to have our defense and our offense be finally equivalent to what each other should be, which is elite. And by then, we can make our Super Bowl run. But it doesn't matter whether he's sitting on a bench in Texas or sitting on a bench with us. He's going to be sitting on a bench. I might as well have him learning our playbook now so that by the time everything's settled down, we'll be able to go ahead and move forward with him. And with the legal situation, I'm just going to throw out 3 names. Michael Vick, Ben Roethlisberger, and what's the third guy? I can't think of the third guy. But look at 2 players right then and there.
You do realize that, right?
And he still ended up playing. My point exactly. So even if
I'm not
he went to
arguing
jail,
that, but my point is, if the quarterback ends up going to jail after we lose him, you think our defense is going to hang around that long? I don't think so.
Well, first of all, we don't know how long he would go to jail for, so we have to take that into account. But at the end of the day.
But based on what you're saying about if our quarterback goes to jail, but as of right now, at the pace of Tua's development, right, at his current pace, if we keep him and we just go at the current pace, we're going to end up wasting the defense anyway. Because in 2 to 3 years, Tua's contract is going to come up for renewal.
Facts.
So this window that we have is a very small window.
Yeah, but the thing is, the window's been mishandled right now. That's the problem.
But at the end of the day, that's why we have to supercharge one of the positions and take a big risk. Because at the end of the day, this pace that we were going on was we have a young team. The one thing about the thing about having a young team is that all their contracts usually come up for renewal back to back or all at the same time. So these guys are going to be active.
So
I've
always all come up at the same time. You ain't going to be able to keep them.
Listen, the best play here is to trade for Deshaun Watson. Try every way you possibly can to keep Tua out of that deal, which is likely because Houston already say they don't want him, from what I understand. You keep Tua Tagovailoa. You let him develop behind Watson. Whatever happens with Watson, you still got the best backup quarterback in the NFL in Tua. Well, hopefully the best backup quarterback in the NFL in Tua. And he gets to continue to play, and he gets to continue to develop. But that's how it works. It's that simple. You got a contingency plan in that you own the rights of Tua Tagovailoa anyway, and you have the cap and the money. Let me tell y'all another thing. Nobody's talking about this. Do y'all remember 3 weeks before the regular season, we couldn't pay all our draft picks?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to free up and rework some contracts, and one of them was the linebacker that we let go.
There's a money situation or a cap issue now. That's part of the problem.
What we did is restructure Bernard McKinney's deal, and all the draft picks got paid. But then y'all ain't noticed something? We only had like $2 million in money. Then they restructured Grant's deal, Albert Wilson, and somebody else. And then they end up not even keeping Bernard McKinney. Do y'all notice that they cleared up about $11 million in cap space?
Easily.
Yep.
Yeah, in about 2 weeks.
And what was Watson's salary?
10.5.
$10.5 million. The Miami Dolphins had their plan. It just didn't work out.
Exactly.
They still wanted to trade
because the Texans were salty.
Well, they were looking for a bargain, and the Texans staff is being.
But here's one thing that we're not also talking about is we know that it's been rumored that Flores did not want Tua, right? So we put together this O-line. Maybe this O-line wasn't designed for a quarterback like Tua.
It wasn't. That's what I keep telling people.
It wasn't designed for a quarterback such as him. So that's why he's probably struggling.
They straight up neglected building him an O-line that fits him. They would listen. I'm telling you, this O-line, they brought in guys who are athletic. I want y'all to notice that. Guys who can, their strengths is actually going forward. Like Simon Kelly, Austin Jackson, and all of those guys, they were drafted off of their athleticism. And this O-line screams a quarterback that is mobile.
And you look at the colleges that those guys came from, they were getting off the ball and moving people. Their sizes, they were big in their size. So that's why people are saying, they mismanage their draft assets. At the same time, I'm taking a look at it and say, maybe this O-line wasn't designed for the quarterback that we have, and it's not a mismanagement. It's just, we have the wrong piece.
And here's what's funnier about that. We all keep saying we need the coaches are messing up. The general manager's not bringing the right players in. If Greer came out right now and told you, if there were breaking news, we traded for Deshaun Watson, and Greer got on camera right now and said the entire time we were preparing for Watson, that's why we made all the moves we made. Everybody would be like, "Oh, it makes sense now." So why do we sit here and like deny that being a plausible situation?
We're not arguing.
I don't think what they've done lately has anything to do that they're building for Watson. Like that doesn't.
What have they done lately, Pete?
Like the last 2 years, they didn't draft Tua, Austin Jackson, Noah Igbenogany, Raekwon Davis. They didn't draft
This whole
Waddle.
offseason
Whoa,
has been
hold on. Remember.
Now-
It's been rumored that Flores did not want Tua. He wanted Herbert, and Herbert is bigger and more mobile and more athletic than Tua.
No.
That
And I already know
that is a
this.
fact.
Listen, the first person in this entire community to turn over to Watson was probably me, bro. Nobody here. That there's no debating who's the better quarterback here. That's like trying to compare Calvin Johnson and Julian Edelman. Who's the better receiver? They both play receiver. There's just two difference. That's all it is.
So, because I asked, do you think Herbert would have been successful with our O-line?
No.
Yes, he would have.
Look,
Why?
I feel like he would have.
Why does people
He
say
didn't have
no?
the receivers.
Why
He
do
didn't have the tight end.
Oh my God! Why
I'm
do
not-
people
I'm not
say
gonna
no
say-
when he had a worse O line than us last year? Whether y'all want to
Thank
admit it or not.
you. Thank you.
but the gameplay.
He had a
Look, if you would have put Herbert in our team last year and called the exact same plays, the same scripts, you would not have the rookie of the year on our team.
Not true.
Not
But I'm
true.
but hold
Not
on,
true.
but hold on. I'm
Not
even
true.
saying-
Hold
but
up.
hold
Let
on.
me
I'm
tell
not
you.
even
That's
saying-
true.
I'm not
That's
even
not
saying-
Dan Gilly
Not
doesn't
true.
call
like
that kind of game.
I'm not even basing off last year. I'm talking about this current situation. Remove plug and play Herbert behind our current team. Are we still 1-2? Are we still having this discussion? I don't believe so.
At minimum 2-1. See,
Listen.
this is what y'all ignoring, man. Y'all acting like the same play calls Tua had last year. He wasn't ignoring wide open guy. Let me tell y'all the difference. When Herbert snaps the play, his head is right down the middle of the field, and then he's making a decision. When Tua snaps the play, his head is either going right or left. Already decided, cutting off the other side of the field.
Because I get frustrated because people are saying, okay, because it was like the Patriots game. They say, oh, you don't throw it to Grant because he's going to drop the ball while he's streaming down the field wide open. And I said, that's the most ignorant statement as a fan, as a football player. No, you still take that shot. If he drops it, okay, you live with it.
Thank you. Oh,
but at the same time, at the back of the defense's mind is now, damn, okay, I got bailed out by him. Now I got to look
take
out
him
for
over
that.
the middle in front of the end zone.
He fumbled that. That was a completed pass. He fumbled it.
That's not what I'm getting at. Do you take a small receiver like that and make him go over the middle and expect him to hold on to the ball?
Well,
Yes, people do it all the time. Other receivers are
He's
doing
not
it.
Julian Edelman, and he's definitely not the other guy either.
I'm gonna say this.
But are those
People
small
need to
receivers
get
though?
off that.
How
Jakeem
can
has made
somebody
big
ever
mistakes like that
become?
before.
How can somebody ever become that good if you automatically assume they can't handle it?
Because
Like,
at the same
He
time,
has to
Julian
catch the
Edelman are
ball
still
on the
small
outside,
receivers.
never mind over the middle.
Jakeem
Okay.
has done that many times for his
But we
team.
trust them. But we trust them on punt return and kick return, where those are the most violent plays and most violent part of the game, versus going over the middle. At least he could protect himself. But when you're looking up
You
for a
can't
punt,
hit the guy on if he puts his hand up.
it's only a
to
two.
catch a punt return or.
But how many
or what
times
do
has
you
he
call it?
caught it and gone to the house with it? He's not always a fair catch type of guy.
I understand that, but then at that point he has a chance to go somewhere and he's already caught the ball.
Jakeem
You
know,
drops 2 or
There's a
3
big
passes
difference
and
between
everybody say don't
catching the
never
ball
trust him again.
on the
Yes.
outside versus catching the ball over the middle.
Okay,
Two
but
different
what
kind
about?
of
But what about if he's
receivers.
streaming wide open on a post route?
That's different. You should have
Okay,
been
throw
throwing
him
the
the
ball.
ball.
I'm not arguing that. They should have thrown the ball to him. They missed that one.
But
They
the
had
thing
the guy.
is,
He had the guy.
these are plays that we keep missing. Because okay, you had that Devontae Parker. If that ball was ahead of Devontae Parker in the last game, That's a touchdown, or it's
To
not a
the
pass
house.
interference. It's not a
To
broken
the
up play.
house.
But he had to,
Devontae
again.
Parker dropped the ball in the end zone too. Okay, so don't.
No,
even
I'm
go
talking
there.
about last week's game, where the DB was able to catch up to him, but Devontae Parker had a step or two. Put it in front of our receivers.
That's on the quarterback once again.
Exactly. So if we have, but again, people keep saying that we have accurate quarterbacks, but our quarterbacks are not that accurate.
The guy that's in there now is the coach's guy. Okay, that's the problem. The guy that's behind him is actually better than him.
No, the coach's guy is actually playing in Los Angeles for the Chargers.
Exactly.
Yes. Yep. That is
right
true.
now.
And look, wait a minute. If you think about it, Herbert last year in the Dolphins with a much better O-line, because our O-line was definitely better than the Chargers, he would have had even more yardage. Because his play style, not at all, because his play style would have fed right into what Changeli does, which is somebody who lets it go. What did we have with Fitzpatrick? Somebody that lets it go. So you have Herbert letting it go with Changeli and his open playbook. Absolutely, we would have had more yardage, and he would have had more games to win. We would have won at least 2 more games with Herbert.
Last year they actually had a meeting with the offensive coordinator didn't even want to.
Hold on, guys. 1 second.
This defense,
TD.
Hold
TD,
on,
thanks for having me again. I gotta go. I'm running late actually, but thanks for having me.
Bonjo, nice to see you.
And thank you for bringing back that morning show. I listen to it on my way to work every time, man. I've been pleading. I don't see if you saw me in the chats. I was like, man, bring back your morning show. So thank you for bringing it back.
My son had a doctor's appointment early this morning, so I forgot about it. My wife reminded me, so I was like, oh, okay.
All right, appreciate you guys. Fins up.
But if Herbert had this defense, he would have even had more opportunities. Y'all understand?
Yeah, you guys gotta stop worrying about somebody else's quarterback. It doesn't make a difference anymore. He's not on our team.
Yeah, but we're sitting here having a conversation. We can compare all we want. That's what people do. That's what we're doing right now. And another thing, this comparison is so relevant to our team because it also highlights what your quarterback doesn't have.
My quarterback?
And we're not going to sit here and move past that.
Look, I can turn around and be an armchair general and wish about after the draft when I get to see what happens and then say, oh, I wanted this guy, I wanted that guy. That's all nice and well, but the thing is, you got to pick the guys beforehand.
Yeah,
and
I agree with you.
And you have to take the risk. There's things that happen to guys.
But what Herbert is supposed to be doing right now is showing you why you might have got it wrong versus making excuses.
TD. The same thing we did with Drew Brees. We did it with Drew Brees. We did it with Drew Brees, guys. We did it. We have already done this with Drew Brees.
TD, I got a question for you.
Many a time.
Yes, sir.
I can go back to 50 years how we've done this.
TD, I got a question.
When Marino was the quarterback, how many times we missed on running backs? We missed on linebackers. We missed on wide receivers.
Yep.
Because we took the wrong guys.
That should be the same criticism. Well, go ahead, D-Dub.
So, if you got a chance, thinking about what has transpired, right?
Yeah.
You said you didn't, and I remember the conversations. You didn't want Tua at 5, and I'm gonna put that out there. You didn't want him at 5. Okay. Now, would you have chosen Herbert at 5?
No.
No.
Okay. So now,
make a difference.
So wait a minute. My point is this: whether you wanted to have Herbert or Tua, and I'm talking specifically to TD now, right?
Yeah.
You would have much rather picked either one of them at 18 rather than at 5, correct?
No, that's not true. So I said
maybe like 9.
I said no. That wasn't my stance. I said I would not take Herbert. I mean, I would not take Tua. First of all, Herbert wasn't even in the conversation.
That's
Herbert,
right, because a lot of fans didn't even want to think about Herbert.
Yeah,
the
only thing that we heard good about Herbert was those pro days were phenomenal. Like it was like, whoa, Herbert is like wow at Pro Day. That's the only thing you heard of Herbert, right? And remember, I hadn't done my research on all my quarterbacks. I only did my research on Tua because he was the big talk for the Dolphins. So I said I would not take Tua at number 5. Matter of fact, I would not have taken Tua. But if he is the guy, I would take him at 9 because I feel like there were 8 other prospects ahead of him. I never said he was the guy, and I never said I would have took him, period. I said if he was the guy, I would take him at 9 if that's where they want to go, a quarterback.
Right, but the Dolphins didn't have the 9th pick. They would have had to trade out. But
no, I was saying that was the value. So don't get him at 5. Pick one of these other players.
And that's
now,
why I was saying
trade out of that pick and pick up future assets and get them at 9, 10, or 11 or something. That's what I would do.
Right. But then if you just look at what the Dolphins had pick-wise, the next pick was 18, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So would you have picked Tua you would have picked Tua or Herbert at 18?
If both
they
of
wouldn't
them
have been
available?
there at 18.
But he just hypothetical if they were.
If both of them were available?
If both of them were available.
My stance would have been the same. If y'all say y'all want y'all quarterback now, then get Tua at 18. I was tunnel vision on the quarterback. It was Tua because that's what everybody say that he wanted. So I did my research.
Okay. Just so everybody know that, and for the record, that there was people out there that did not want Tua at 5. Not necessarily saying they didn't want him, but not at 5 for the value of it. You know, and people get twisted up saying that
you don't take
if
a
you didn't
fragile
want
quarterback
him,
at 5.
that you never liked him. It was that at the point that the Dolphins were picking at 5, you didn't feel as though he was worth the number 5 pick. At best, 9, 11, and if he fell down to 18, it would have been ideal. So when you think about it in that term, he's not. Maybe we should have lower expectations for Tua because when you think about
Are
how
you
he
saying we reached?
we might have reached for him.
All 3 picks were reaches.
And that's why, again, I go back to, sometimes a broke clock is right twice in a day. So Pete may be headed in the right direction with respect to evaluating Greer's first round draft choices with respect to what has come about from them, because you may possibly have a reach with Tua. You may have somebody who might be he's not on the game day roster with Noah, and you have somebody who is maybe playing out of position at best and maybe not suitable for tackle in Jackson. And those were the main reason why you went through that big rebuild and stripped everything bare, and you got 3 couldas. They haven't grown to fruition yet.
I got a question for you, D-Double.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is Trey Lance a reach at 3?
Ooh. I think anytime that you pick somebody in the top 5, that player should have instant impact. And the fact that the only reason why they made that pick is because they have Garoppolo to play right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. They figured they can groom him.
Yeah, whether they keep Garoppolo or not, that
guy might not even see the field at all today as far as a starting quarterback.
And to me, if you pick in top 5, that guy has to have an impact on your season, not just one touchdown pass in game 1.
I agree with you, and that's part of the reason why Tua shouldn't have been picked at 5.
I mean, we can go back and forth revisionist history on things, but
look, this is what has been
right
done.
now. Right now, we gotta get Tua up to snuff, up to par, to where he is viable. He is the future, and we have to determine that. Now, it's a tough break that he's injured for. He's going to miss another game, and I guess maybe one or two more before the Jacksonville game. So
here's another question for you then. Is Parker part of our future?
Who, Devontae Parker?
Yeah.
In my opinion, he shouldn't be a part of the present.
I agree.
No, he
so what I'm thinking, what I would think to do is take Parker and trade him to the Detroit for the left tackle and move on.
Well, I don't think Detroit would trade Sewell for.
I'm not talking about Sewell.
Who?
I'm talking about the guy who's coming off of injured reserve.
Oh well,
the guy who's got a lot of money left on his contract. Contract up for contract.
I'm not familiar with Detroit's offensive line. I apologize.
The guy's name is Dieter. He was the left tackle for them last year. This guy's a brute. He was going to still be the left tackle for them this year. He got hurt, so that's why Sewell went to left tackle.
Okay.
What I'm getting at is you'd be getting an experienced left tackle, somebody that you have to pay for next year anyway. So we're going to get rid of salary by getting rid of Parker, which is a need for them because they need a receiver.
I think that
this satisfies too. Yeah, we're picking up more salary by taking them now, but it solves our situation that we got now, and we're loaded with receivers. We should be taking some of that young talent and playing them.
I wouldn't trade Parker. I would trade somebody else. You need
to trade a rookie that's got a low salary.
That
makes no sense either.
But you can't trade somebody you know is going to give you production on the field. That is my opinion.
Okay, but you look at Parker, right? He don't somebody who he's not willing to sacrifice. And I say it in this regard.
We know exactly why, because Parker is a fragile player, just like
every receiver in our receiving corps is fragile. What are you talking about?
No. I'm not even talking about it like that.
Okay. Every receiver we have. I'm just saying.
He's not going to block downfield for running backs to spring them for long plays. He's not going to.
You saw one time he didn't block, and you saying he can't block. Just like people see Jakeem Grant drop 2 or 3 passes.
No. I've seen this. I've seen this over 4 or 5 years since he's been here. So it's not just one game. It's not just one game.
Parker's only had one good year.
Okay. And
Devontae Parker and Preston Williams are 2 of the nastiest run blockers we have.
Yeah, okay.
My point is
I don't know about that part.
You're not developing Preston Williams.
All right. You should see the way Preston Williams turns his head to block, and he looks to pick people up. Parker does too.
He had chances.
But I know Dwayne wants to sit here and say, "Oh, Parker don't block because of the other day when TD,
No, it's not. It's like I said. I didn't call up one play, Pete. I didn't call up one play. So
you can call up a play. You just saying Parker can't
Pete,
block.
Are you going to resign Parker?
I think he can't block. He's injury prone. He don't make. He doesn't. He's not consistent with his hands. So you got to optimize the value, and you should have traded him before the season, so that way you could have optimized his value. Now you got another season where people see more of his flaws.
That's not true, D-Dub. If I'm gonna say this, Steve,
exactly.
If he was playing for another team, wait. If he was playing for another team with a different quarterback, say he was playing with Aaron Rodgers, if he was playing for the Patriots, he'd be the number 1 receiver on the team.
I can say the same thing about Tua. If Tua was playing with the greatest show on turf, he might put up numbers.
But you didn't say
Dwayne. Not that kind of quarterback.
You see,
He's
and
not.
Quentin, this is where I disagree with you too, because you were going on a good
But
path.
he's
But then
not that kind of quarterback.
but you blaming it now on the quarterback.
But
When
he's not.
clearly
I'm gonna say
Parker had
this.
issues here before Tua was here, right?
Pete.
And what are some of those issues? It's
Pete,
clear.
Pete,
Bro, it's been
Pete,
offensive
Pete,
coordinators in Miami, offensive coaching in Miami. That's
The
what been
number
the
one
issue.
issue
People
that
wake up.
Parker
Stop
has is
blaming players
availability.
and start blaming coaching.
I swear, man.
Stop it.
Our fans
Why?
are
Hold
terrible.
on. Wait.
Fans are
Listen.
terrible.
If it's already too much that these players have to listen to the head coach in their ear, why do we have two OCs? I mean, one could have get done. I would say that is where they failed. Because two OCs is too much, two different styles. They should have picked whoever, I forgot who it was. I think it was Gotzi that did the Arizona game. Whoever did well with Tua at that moment, they should have just gone with that guy and left the other guy alone. Because right now, two OCs is not cutting it, and you get issues where the same play is called on third down and fourth down, and we can't even get 2 yards. We could have at least spread it up. Put three on one side, one on the other, and then done the run, or maybe even a QB sneak. But no, we couldn't even pick up 2 flipping yards because it is bad coaching at the end of the day. And that goes to the OCs.
Jolie, you want me to tell you how wrong you are? But you're right. But I'm gonna tell you how wrong you are.
I'm wrong, but I'm right. What?
It's not. You're right. But I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong. And it's even worse. It gets worse. This is when I say you're wrong, it gets even worse. It's not only 2 coordinators now. Now we're hearing it's gonna be a third guy in Charlie Fry. So it's 3. It gets
no
even
mistake,
worse.
Charlie Fry's been making all the calls anyway.
Bro, Charlie Fry is about to take over the play calling duties. Watch what I tell you.
He is making the play calling duties all the time. He's the guy who's into his ear. He's the
That's
guy
not what that's
other
not what they said the process was. What they said the process was that one OC would relay the play to Charlie Fry, who then would relay it to Tua. There's one voice in Tua's helmet
selecting the play that they want to play.
So Charlie Fry is not, according to the process. According to the process, he's not calling the plays. He's relaying the play from the OC to Tua.
He's relaying the plays, but he's selecting which play to play at which time.
No, I don't even know if he has that. I don't think he has that authority to do that.
He's just a quarterback coach. He's
a
quarterback.
In the league, he was a good calling quarterback. That's what his reputation was when he was in the NFL.
At the end of the day, what we need is consistency. If we don't have consistency, we won't have success. And I hate to bring up the Patriots, but they've had the same defensive coordinator or the same offensive coordinator for 1,000,000 years. And guess what? Consistency is what any team can build off. Because if your coaching doesn't have...
That grew up with somebody else ahead of him and taught him the ropes. You don't have that.
Tannehill would have never... Tannehill had no shot at being successful here because every year he had an OC. Every year, every other year, he had a head coach. Like,
Tannehill
you need
never
consistency.
had an offensive line to protect him like he does in Tennessee.
Even with the offensive line, you need consistency in your coaching and your OCs.
That, okay?
Hey guys,
I'm not arguing that. But
hey guys, I just looked up the word consistency in the dictionary, and Deshaun Watson picture popped up.
Okay, TD.
So you know why? It don't matter if you bring a new OC. It don't matter if you this, that, and this. See, greatness get it done.
Whose picture is under the Dolphin Savior in the dictionary of yours?
Might as well be Deshaun Watson at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know,
He all in my dictionary right now.
I don't know, TD. Kyler Murray was supposed to be greatness. He's not turning it over in Arizona. Trevor Lawrence is great. These players, they need coaching.
It's different. Oh my
what do they have to do?
Trevor Lawrence has played 3 games.
What do they have to do with Deshaun Watson, Pete?
No, I'm talking about the coaching and with Tua. Deshaun Watson is out of the question right now.
Why?
What do you mean? He's not a Dolphin. The
So
season
what?
is live. This guy's not a Dolphin. We're
I
talking about.
want to know what
I
are
even
you?
heard of
What
somebody
have
on
you
the
been
Packers
smoking,
face.
Pete? Pete, what you been smoking? Because I don't understand your flip flop from the other
That's
day.
Pete's
Yesterday,
MO,
Mr.
Mr. Flip Flop.
You are a
What do you
super
mean?
flip flop, or
I
you trolling
I
right
flip
now?
flop. Hey,
No,
hey,
I think
Quinn,
you're
you're
trolling.
right.
I think you trolling. I think you really are trolling right now. Just to
No,
Pete
you see,
is the
because look,
traditional troller.
That's what you do.
Come on.
You do stuff to get under people's skin and laugh. You like
Hey,
to
I gotta
troll.
answer this
You
question.
notice that
Somebody-
he's not
Fine,
trolling
Quinn,
about
bro. I've been
Jacoby
standing
Brissett
still.
anymore.
Hey.
One thing about me, bro, I don't troll, and I say what I feel, and
No,
I
you
speak
trolling,
what it
man.
is,
You
bro.
trolling.
And I don't lie, I don't cheat, I don't
Okay, so
steal, bro.
You're
So
gonna
I
turn
agree
around
with
and
that.
tell
Let
us
me-
that Jacoby Brissett is still better than Tua, right?
Yeah, that's what you said the other day.
well,
All last week, how Jacoby Brissett's gonna be the savior.
Well, I don't see where he was wrong in that. But anyway,
Well, wait a minute.
he did exactly
Jacoby
what we need.
Brissett's gonna go down as the only quarterback to complete a pass.
What did I say?
in his own
Hold on, Alfred. Alfred, hold on, because you always talking. Listen, what did I say Jacoby's going to bring to the table that Tua can't? Didn't it happen that he could bring?
What is he bringing? He's bringing his long time delayed passing.
Our team this year, you look at our roster, that's what we need. We need a playmaker. We need somebody that can make something happen out of
y'all
nothing.
gotta stop being
He's
unfair.
not making anything happen.
Y'all said that Ryan Fitzpatrick, you know what he brings, but yeah, he played some of his best football with the Miami Dolphins. Listen, I gotta answer this. I have to respond to this comment in the comment section real quick. Because it's a great point, but I want to help this person understand where I be coming from. They basically said, whatever happened to developing players? I agree. I think it is very important to develop a player, give them the necessary time they need to develop. What we need to understand though is just because you develop a player does not mean that you will be successful doing that. I'm all for giving the time to actually develop, but it doesn't mean that it will work. So when something's not absolute and it may have a risk of not working, especially when it is the most important position in the game of football, which is the quarterback position, and you have a top 5 guy who is already proven available, all that developmental stuff goes out of the window because you either go with the guarantee or you go with a potential. And in a game of football, if there's a guarantee on the table, a potential doesn't even exist. Now, if a guarantee wasn't available right now for trade and all of that, then that's the beauty of football. You have to go with your potential because it's all you have. So you allow that time. This Tua Tagovailoa situation is only amplified because there is a guarantee on the table.
He's a guy who's guaranteed. It's not like you can just go there and purchase it.
That is the what happened.
You have to have an agreement, and that's part of the problem.
Well, yeah, we understand that, but again, when people say basically what people are saying when they say let the man develop, you're basically saying take the chance and forget the guarantee. That's what you are.
It isn't a guarantee. You think that you're going to get Deshaun Watson and then we're going to win the Super Bowl.
Al, stop it, Al. This ain't about the Super Bowl. It's about having a franchise quarterback, and that sure is a guarantee if you get Watson.
I'm not going to argue about franchise quarterback. Yeah, you
That's
would have
what
a
we're
franchise
talking about.
quarterback.
We're talking about
I
having
know
a guaranteed
when I see a
that
good
we don't have
quarterback,
to
I
keep
know
trying
that.
to develop.
I'm not arguing that. Watson is a very good quarterback if you can get him.
He's a guaranteed franchise quarterback.
So your franchise quarterback puts you in a situation where you are guaranteed to at least be in the playoffs and have a shot.
Absolutely, yes. They guarantee the opportunity if your team is halfway competent. If your team is average, A franchise quarterback will guarantee you the playoffs. If your team is trash, a franchise quarterback is going to be trash. We get that. But we already have an above average team. And you will be checking off another area. Like, look at this, y'all. This is what y'all in essence saying. We don't know. Our O-line got to develop. We got 5 guys we don't know about. Well, 4, because one of them we definitely know ain't it. And that's Jesse Davis. We got 4 guys we don't know about. Let's take a chance on those 4 guys. We got a quarterback we don't know about. Let's take a chance on our quarterback. We got, at the end of the day, you're trying to take more chances and make no guarantees at positions. You're tired of, and here's the saddest part about it. If you got 10 hopefuls of potentials and 9 of them can show up, but if that one is the quarterback that don't, it don't matter that them 9 showed up. But you can have 10 guaranteed hopefuls, and if you go get that franchise quarterback, you give yourself a better chance. Like, we're overlooking the one position that's most important that we haven't had in 21 years, and we fall in love with a kid that ain't proved nothing yet, but yet let's give him a chance even though we have a guarantee available. This is what we've come to. But nobody wants to answer the hard question because they always want to say, but what if Watson don't get it done? What if? Well, let me reverse those what ifs. What if Tua bust out? I ain't saying he's a bust. All y'all calm down. But what if Tua bust out? What do we do then, ladies and gentlemen? What do the Miami Dolphins do then? They go into year 3 and they realize he ain't it. All our capital is just about gone. What do the Miami Dolphins do then?
That's why
I want that answer.
That's why we have two picks, not next year, but the year after. So we can get a quarterback.
For what, though, Al? For what?
You think you got enough to get a franchise quarterback?
It's not another quarterback coming out like that right now.
And not even just that. Think about it this way. You don't know they're not proving in the NFL. The difference is we know what we have with Watson. He's already proven, and he's still young. This will never happen in the NFL again. This is where we're at. We will never have an opportunity.
I'm not arguing about
to
getting
get that.
Watson. That's not the question here. The question here is what you're dealing with.
Hold on.
I feel as though he want to see the process go through and see if it works. That's what I feel.
Yeah, well, you got a guy who's a general manager that wants a bargain, okay, and he's gonna try to negotiate a bargain, and you got a stubborn-headed general manager on the other side who's willing to pay the guy $10 million to sit on the bench.
Well, I'm not even arguing about the trade. First of all, the trade is going to happen.
Who's gonna sit on the bench?
The trade is going to happen.
Did this guy just think Deshaun Watson is going to? My bad, Titty. Alfred, do you think Deshaun Watson is going to come to Miami and sit on the bench, bro? Do you honestly
believe Miami? That? He's playing. I'm talking about him sitting right now on the bench now.
Hello, Alfred. Are you aware that if Deshaun Watson, bro, he takes out his phone, he calls Nick Culley and tells Nick Culley, hey, Sunday I want to play. They're going to play that guy in Houston. He controls.
Oh, I understand that. That's not the point. Deshaun Watson's not playing on Houston anymore. Let's get it straightened out. He's not going to play for them anymore.
The only reason
play for them, he doesn't want to play for him.
When people are sitting here comparing Watson to Tua, and anybody
I'm not comparing Watson to Tua.
Wait, hold on, Alfred. I'm not talking to you. When people are sitting here in their feelings, when it comes to Watson and Tua in Miami, and you choose Tua, you're just really out of sync right now.
You were just saying that 3 minutes ago, Pete.
I never said Tua over Watson. not 3 minutes ago. See, you don't pay attention, Quentin. You listen to
yes, you were.
What I was saying was Greer is stuck with Tua. That's who he's stuck with. Simple and plain. That's his decision. I don't see.
He's not stuck. He can turn around and give away the farm if he wanted to.
He could, but GMs are tied to the quarterback that they draft. That's usually what happens. They usually get tied. But hey, hopefully, I mean, I hope.
You got an owner that wants a Super Bowl. Okay,
Listen, Alfred. Listen,
80
stop.
years
Let me
old.
finish real quick.
How many years do you think he has?
Listen, this team right now, whether you guys really like to hear it or not, this whole coaching staff and nothing, these guys don't know what they're doing offensively, with or without Shore, right? Coaching staff offensively is a
Pete,
disaster.
are you telling us something
Someone
that
like
we don't
Deshaun
know?
Watson, with that type of leadership, with that type of mindset, knowing the offenses, knowing this guy will come in and say, bro, I'm not running that play. I'm running my own plays. He'll get the offense to work in his favor. He won't care what other people, what if the offensive coordinator knows what. That's what this team really needs, is a real, true leader that knows what they're doing.
Yeah, they need a leader, but this guy has 25 allegations of sexual misconduct. But everybody's just like skipping over
Allegedly.
Listen,
that's not alleged. 25 women aren't gonna lie. I got a daughter, bro. Like, I wouldn't even morally feel right supporting some dude that got 25 different allegations from
Do you have a
different
son?
women.
Do you have a son?
Yes, that's what I'm about to say.
Do you have
Y'all
a
got
son?
a son. Y'all got a son.
Okay, would you feel right if he was accused of it and he told you he didn't?
No, I'm not. I'm also saying that we have to wait till it clears up. Obviously,
you ever heard the word "go"?
It's just I didn't hear that in the tone. My bad.
Exactly.
So I just didn't hear that.
Hey, TD, you right. You know what he was gonna play. He was gonna play that side. But listen, when we're talking about Watson to Miami, if it happens, I hope you guys know that conversation, they did thorough investigation, and nothing is gonna happen to Deshaun Watson. You think the Miami Dolphins organization is gonna set up a big trade and still have doubt that this guy is gonna get accused of something? Think about it.
We're not talking about getting accused of something. He's already been accused of it.
No, he's not.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, you think that, bro, it's not going to happen. If the Dolphins trade for Watson, that guy's innocent. He's free. That guy would never go to jail.
they're going to wait till everything
I'm telling you,
finished.
Okay? The NFL has people that work for the CIA, FBI, and everything, bro. If this guy gets traded, that almost guarantees that he's innocent. Nothing happened.
How do you know that, for instance, that the NFL's telling him not that Watson's off limits?
Yeah, you never know. I mean,
nobody's telling anybody anything, because if they would have done that, he would have been on the exempt list, Alfred.
But that's
not totally true.
Too much.
You mean that's not totally true? That's the NFL stepping in and doing something, Alfred.
You can't accuse somebody of something if he hasn't done it yet, and you don't have proof of it.
Oh, did you forget about what they did to Ezekiel Elliott? They did it to him. They suspended him.
Yeah, and he didn't even do it. Right?
And he didn't do it, and he beat it. So come on.
That's why the collective bargaining. That's why
we're beyond that time now.
No. That's why the collective bargaining agreement changed. That's why the players cannot get in trouble for something that they haven't at least been convicted of. The NFL cannot step in and take action until they are.
And that is why the NFL is just sitting on the sideline and waiting for due course.
That's a fact. I mean, like, I'm a big Tua fan. Like, I love Tua and all, but I was thinking about what TD said the other day, and our defense don't really got that much time left if you look at the corners and shit. So, excuse my language, if you look at the corners, but I would love Deshaun Watson on our team. Who wouldn't? You know what I'm saying? But with everything going on right now, it's like it's not going to be till next year anyway.
Another week or two, and this year's done as far as bringing in Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
That's not true, right? On November 2nd?
Yeah, okay. You bring him in November 2nd after 8 weeks are gone or 7 weeks are gone and see what that's going to do for you. It's going to take him a week or two just to get orientated in the system.
Not Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
You could
throw
Tom
Brady. I give Al this. Tom Brady.
And start passing touchdowns right off the bat.
Yeah, I guarantee you can do that.
No. Even Tom Brady said he couldn't get the playbook fully last year. And they won the Super Bowl. So
Tom Brady and Deshaun Watson play two different types of football.
Deshaun Watson can come in day one and be successful.
Exactly.
You have to understand.
He can be successful with one receiver that's on the team.
A lot of plays in the NFL, these kids haven't played their whole life. There are general packages that everybody in the NFL knows. And you build from there. And you improvise from there.
TD, a lot of these quarterbacks have their own playbooks.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, a lot of them have their own playbooks, but no quarterback could play backyard football like Deshaun Watson or Lamar Jackson.
It don't matter.
Play backyard football.
I wanted to switch gears real quick because we brought this up earlier about Mike Gesicki doesn't run routes over the middle and this and that. At the last game, this was his use. This is how they use Mike Gesicki, just so y'all know. So I want y'all to take a look at this and what do y'all think about this?
Okay, how many passes did he actually catch in the middle? One?
Now remember, all the highlighted white ones are the ones where he actually completed the pass. Well, the white is the route. The incomplete routes are the gray ones. All right. So this is his utilization. What do y'all notice in this? I noticed one thing that sticks out like a thumb.
Nothing but rollouts.
Outside.
Huh?
It's all on the outside where he can basically.
TD, if you're gonna say how his routes are rounded,
yeah, absolutely. Every one of them is rounded.
But that's how it's designed, though. That's how those routes are.
No, that's not how they're designed. No
you
fucking
can't sit
way.
here and tell me a tight end every single route is designed rounded. Y'all stop that mess.
Hey, I love Gesicki, so stop it. I love him. Stop it.
Hey, I love Gesicki.
Stop that. Oh, they designed.
I'm dying. Right I know you so well.
Stop it, TD. Stop it.
You're a troll.
Oh my God! You see Devontae Adams, TD. They're almost as. Does that guy run rounded routes too?
Oh, I have to go look at it. I gotta
look at it. It's round and round like circles.
Hey,
but you know the sad part about this? Hold up. The sad part about this is that they started using him at the end when we had no choice. If they would have used him correctly throughout the entire game and actually went to him, we would have never been in the situation that we needed to go ahead and come back down 28 points to tie the game. I'm just saying.
he did have 10
catches.
I agree with you, ball game in the comment section. Josh Allen in the league.
And isn't that my bad? Go ahead, Quinn.
No, I was just agreeing with ball game in the comment section.
Oh, okay. And isn't that what I've been trying to tell people for the longest about Mike Gesicki? And you too, TD, when he can't block, he can't do it. I'm arguing with all you guys because the guy's a weapon. Let's use that guy as a weapon that he is. We should have using him. If that's what he is, a receiver, we drafted him to be a receiver. He's a mismatch in the red zone.
I think not being able to block and not willing to block is two different things. He don't want to block.
Let me tell y'all.
He don't want to block. He don't want to.
But we don't need him to block if we have no people catching. If we have people that are dropping balls left and right, forward, then come on, we don't need him for that. What we need him for is to open up the floor so that we can then use our people for the run game.
Exactly, the pass first so it can open up the run. It looks like this offense.
We're going back to that again, Pete, huh?
Because that's what this. Hello, Alfred. Don't you pay attention to our team? That's what this team is built for.
I don't need to pay attention to our team. I know what our team does.
Listen, Alfred. I know, bro. You've been laying down in bed too long. We have the highest paid.
I'm laying down in bed. Yeah, okay.
Why do you always talking, bro? Look, we got the highest paid cornerback tandem in the entire league. How do you get those guys to get interceptions? You force teams to pass. How do you force teams to pass? You got to put up points early on them. That's what this team is built for. Fast flying receivers, all type of weapons with a quick rhythm gunning quarterback. Tua is supposed to be a quick rhythm pass.
Man. I gotta disagree with you on that one, man, because our team is not built for that. We not the Chiefs. We
have more weapons than the Chiefs. The Chiefs only have Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. And Mahomes.
Exactly. Pete is right.
Why did we
Pete is right on that, bro.
As much as we want to talk about how the receivers and stuff, Jalen Waddle's a rookie. Devontae Parker is an average receiver, and so is Will Fuller. I mean, I'm just keeping it real.
Will Fuller's above average.
Y'all stop.
Will Fuller is above average, and he's a threat.
He's way above average. Fuller's way above average.
Right here, I be talking about, man.
So you telling me? So you telling me?
Pete, why did we draft Jalen Phillips at the 18th pick of the draft? Why did we do that?
Average. He should have been gone if he was average. Will Fuller, average. Oh my God, this
TD,
is
you know they average. You got to think about how many receivers
no.
are in
You
the
don't
NFL.
want to put the onus where it lays. You got caught up in comparing the Miami Dolphins offense to the Kansas City Chiefs when everybody knows where the real difference is. The real difference, because we got just as much speed. The real difference is that the freaking
It's the quarterback.
Okay, besides
right?
the quarterback position, you telling me right now that we got elite Justin
Overall, we got a better
Justin
receiving
Jefferson,
unit
Julio Jones type receiver.
before they got Gordon. We had a better receiving unit overall. If Patrick Mahomes had our receiving unit, man, are you kidding?
You talking about
Patrick Mahomes had our receiving unit with Will Fuller, Greg, Albert Wilson, Parker,
and then wait, TD, you forgot. Give Patrick our defense. They will be in the Super Bowl every single year for the next 10 years.
Every year.
Period.
Patrick Mahomes got the most weapons in the NFL at receiver and tight end.
But he has no defense.
Tyreek Hill.
He only has 2 people.
Why is Kansas City looking for a receiver? Why are they signing?
So you telling me so Nico, whatever his name is trash? I'm confused.
Consistency.
No, they're not.
They're top 2 players.
Why are you
Receiver
signing
core is better than
Hasbin Gordon?
McCole Hardman,
Demarcus
Demarcus Robinson, all those boys
you got
are
such
trash.
a receiving team.
You know what's sad about it? We're allowed to disrespect our receiving core because they ain't got an elite quarterback throwing them the ball. But if we had an elite quarterback throwing them the ball, nobody would be taking anybody else's receiving core over ours. The problem is your quarterback.
Exactly.
Whether y'all want to admit it or not, your quarterback.
TD, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not the quarterback, bro. The problem here is not quarterback, bro.
It's the play calling
weapons. It's the coaching staff, bro. They're not calling plays, bro. They're not playing aggressive.
Pete,
They're not.
Pete.
Wait a minute.
Tell me that when quarterbacks are missing wide open guys. That's the only time I want to hear it. When a quarterback doing everything they could, then I'll start looking at everybody else. Like y'all sitting here looking at an offensive coordinator, you're looking at a play caller call plays. Now, if everybody executed correctly, then, and if it's not working, then I'll talk about them. But until the players actually execute it, then and only then will I look elsewhere. Y'all keep ignoring that they're also not executing these trash plays y'all talk about.
Hey, TD, one quick question, TD. How was they supposed to execute
passing to his own end zone is not executing the play.
Hold on, Albert, shut up. Hold on. I want to say something, TD. Quick question then. If you can't blame the offensive coordinators, how are they supposed to execute a screen on their own goal line?
Because you got 3 people wide open. Giuseppe right there in your face.
Thank you. Giuseppe was wide open.
The quarterback
and Brissett said that wasn't the read, bro. Brissett said that wasn't the read.
Brissett even said out of his own mouth, I made the wrong play.
Listen,
it
doesn't
out
matter.
of his own mouth that he did the wrong play.
That's what he did. That's what he meant to say. I made the wrong play by not audible out of the play. That's what he made. That's the decision.
What happened? What did you say?
I said because he only admitted to that because he didn't make the audible out of the dumb play. That's the play to call.
It wasn't a dumb play. Had he checked it right there,
he should have just threw it to his face.
It would have been a 6-yard gain.
And
now we're out of trouble.
Making the pass in his own end zone.
And this is another issue. I already said this. I don't think Waddle needed to jump for that pass anyways. So
it was a bad pass.
Don't even go there. Waddle had to jump.
He did not listen, bro. That guy did not have to jump for that pass, bro. I think he jumped for no reason.
I mean, it doesn't matter if he jumped or not. The man had
that jump slowed him down.
At the end of the day, he was in the end zone.
Pete, it was still the wrong play to make, Pete. You're going to throw literally 30 feet away from you instead of throwing 10 feet in front of you.
No, I agree
Thank
with you. I agree with you. At the end of the day, the quarterback decision, he made the wrong decision. The other guy was open.
And that's the problem with the Dolphins. Our quarterbacks are making the wrong decision too often.
Okay, so now we're all on the same page here, right, TD? The play call wasn't bad then. It was a good play call. It's just
It
the
was poor
quarterback made the
execution
wrong
by the
decision.
quarterback, Pete, and you know
If he
it.
would have threw it to the tight end, he would have got 7 yards.
We keep getting that though. We keep getting the wrong decision.
Because this is where I come to this is what I think it is, TD. They're handcuffing the quarterbacks. They're telling them who to throw it to. This is the guy to throw it to. They don't have trust in their quarterbacks.
If they're doing that, that means that our quarterbacks are remedial, and that's the only reason they would do that.
Yeah,
If they're
bro,
doing
it should
that-
be no reason. It should be no reason we throw the ball 49 times and only get 212 yards. That's like crazy ridiculous. Threw the ball 49 times, bro. 212 yards.
Jalen Hurts. He lost to
Completions
the Cowboys.
behind the line of scrimmage.
Jalen Hurts lost to the Cowboys. He had
Completion
8
was
completions.
behind the line of scrimmage.
Yards. Only on like 8 completions. But it's just that's what I'm talking about. Is what does the offense want to attack? And it doesn't seem like they want to open up the deep part of the game. And if you're not scaring teams, bro, Jalen Waddle, what was I saying before the season started about Jalen Waddle? How long is it going? Look, what did I say? How long is it going to take for us to see a deep Jalen Waddle touchdown? We're heading into week 4.
Like
you know, this guy had like
before we see
15
that.
targets, and this guy didn't. He had like what 10 catches and didn't even get up to 70 yards, bro.
Pete, let me ask you a question.
Bro,
12 catches,
How many
68
touchdowns did Jalen Waddle catch this year?
That's on Jarvis Landry level, bro. And Jarvis Landry.
How many catches did Jalen
So
Waddle
to treat him like Jarvis Landry.
Guys, let me say something.
Point there. That is Jarvis Landry.
Guys, let me say something real quick, if y'all don't mind. Please, no one interrupt. I really got to say this because I'm tired of us going in circles. I'm going to try to use an analogy to help y'all out because this is what people keep doing. And Pete's doing it right now, in my opinion. Say you got a water hose, okay? And that water hose has a hole in it. And you turn the water on all the way. And you're wondering, why can't we get enough water coming out at a faster, more pressurized pace? What we keep doing is ignoring the, let me finish. What we keep doing is ignoring the hole and saying we need to increase the pressure. We need to maybe make the hole smaller to like make more pressure. We need to do this. We're keep talking about doing everything except fixing the freaking hole in the hole. All of the other reasons that you can make more pressure is true. But why won't you just go fix the freaking holes?
TD, we would already fix it if Deshaun Watson wasn't going through what he's going through. It would already been fixed.
Pete, when you say open up the playbook, stop it. Execute the one that they're giving you now first. Show the coaches that we're executing and it still sucks.
Yeah, but TD,
you can execute it and it still sucks, then you can't blame it on that.
But TD, listen, TD. You know me and you both. Listen, you cannot call nothing but these short plays. Teams are playing you short. And not
how about your quarterback making those plays?
God, Alfred. Can you let me talk first and then you say something? Listen. You cannot limit routes. We're seeing 1 or 2 routes. We have too many receivers for that. So I'm going to keep saying this, whether you guys like it or not. It's just the truth. The quarterbacks are not being let loose. Okay, when you go out, and I'm going to bring up this analogy, TD. You take your kids to the park. When you take your kids to the park, don't they want to go out and be free and go play? What if you go to the park?
Hold on. Let me answer that real quick.
Hold on.
I will allow them to go be free and play if they ain't sitting there doing reckless stuff.
No, hold on. Okay, but exactly. Tua is not reckless. He's not turning the ball over.
It's a trick question.
We're not really losing games, but we're not also winning the games because of Tua. And that's been the issue here. It's been the way they're calling the game. I don't even know if they have in-game adjustments. Are we seeing in-game adjustments? Buffalo.
No, you're not.
Pete,
doing in-game adjustments.
We're seeing the same exact style. We're not seeing. Look, matter of fact, don't you see? It's clearly not. We're not even doing in-game adjustments on defense. Teams are gashing us late in the fourth quarter with the run.
I guarantee you, if we had Fitzpatrick right now, we'll be 2-1.
Pete, what you're saying?
Yeah, that's for sure.
What you're
No,
saying?
if we would have had Pat White right now.
What I'm trying to get to is when we did, there was times. So y'all telling me Tua never looked good at all based on last year?
He looks good, but you got to understand where TD is coming from. He's saying that we don't got time to develop this young man into what he could be. He's a good coach. It's not like he sucks, but he's not a Herbert.
No, I know where TD is coming from is.
Pete must have cut out again,
Y'all can still hear me?
Yeah, I saw that hate.
Okay, where TD's coming from is he knows we have an option of getting one of an elite quarterback right now, obviously.
Which only happens once in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to win a Super Bowl before I die. I just want to put it out there. Just in case anybody else wanted to know. At this point, hold on.
I need people to understand. I think I need people to understand the general gist. You know how we all looking for who do we hold accountable, right? All I'm trying to do is show y'all why the offensive coordinator will never be held accountable. If Flores is sitting there with the offensive coordinator, right, and he's going over game film, and no, let's talk about the play caller, whoever calling the play. The guy in the office with Flores saying, "Look at this play," and the guy on almost every play is showing a wide open guy when the pocket is still decent. How can Flores argue with him?
He can't.
Like literally all day, he's sitting there. Look at this play that was no good. You see, the pocket is clean when should obviously be the read, but it's not the read. Look at this play. See, so y'all want to keep saying the OC, the play caller, but when I go back and watch all 22, there is too many things being left on the field. So how can you hold an offensive coordinator accountable? Because if you were in Flores' position and you were in there trying to coach an OC about his play calling, and you're bringing up film and saying this was terrible in my opinion. Well, Flores, how terrible was it? I mean, would you expect for him to throw it to Waddle in the flat when you got three options right here in front of you? Flores can't do nothing to look at him and be like, yeah, the quarterback was just stupid on the play.
Yeah.
And that's what you're getting a lot of when you watch him.
That's on the quarterback.
So
I think the difference is
true, TD.
Y'all gotta
That's true, TD. But Pete was trying to say it wasn't aggressive.
Well, but when you're backed up in that territory and you already know your quarterbacks have limitations, how much aggressiveness do y'all want? You also got to play the game of what a guy can do. All I'm saying is they have given them a game plan where they don't have to be aggressive because the quarterbacks may not be able to handle that aggressiveness. But the game plan that they're giving them is just fine if they will stop leaving meat on the bone.
Right.
I think are you saying when our quarterback is not capable of throwing 100 points, they started throwing deep?
There's two people talking. I couldn't hear y'all.
I couldn't hear you.
I'm sorry. You go first. Crypto.
Go Crypto.
No, I said it was two people. How about just sending two of your fastest wide receivers on 9 routes instead of sending them on half-yard routes to begin with when you had the same amount when you threw a deep pass for more than 40 yards late in the 5th quarter?
I'm trying to understand what you're saying, though.
He's saying that the two receivers went out on 9 routes, and then you wait till the end to do the deep passes.
Because the coaches, no, I got to address that. The coaches already explained to y'all the circumstance. We just pick and choose when we want to hear them. Flores said it in the pressure. We can only take what they give us.
Yeah.
And once you keep on getting first downs, then they give you the deep ball. What was Jacoby Brissett doing in the 4th quarter? Getting first down after first down after first down. Then we actually could take shots.
Took a page out of Mac Jones.
He stopped leaving meat on the bones in the 4th quarter. He found the open guy. He hit the target that needed to be hit. And as soon as he started doing that at a consistent clip, the Raiders start coming up a little bit. And then you take your shots, and that's what we did. But the first 3 quarters, he was still leaving meat on the bones.
No, we were in desperation mode at that point.
Yeah,
So
we were in desperation mode. But whether we took the shot or not, had we kept getting them first downs, it wouldn't have been any difference from the shot. Think about it. We didn't get the shot anyway, and we still had a chance to win the game. So you can't say desperation mode. All of those deep passes were one-on-one, were they not?
Yeah, they were. They were one-on-one.
We weren't getting that in the regular Florida game. The two safeties.
But the referees will be less prone to swallow the whistle if you take more shots early. Then they know to look for pass interference when they call it at the right time.
But they're not going to swallow the whistle if you got two DBs, a safety and a DB on a shot. You're wasting the play.
No, they're not wasting the play. He's doing on first down. You still got 2 downs to make a first down.
But you still got safety help. I mean, look at what you're asking us to do. You're asking us to take a shot in terrible cover, in great coverage.
He's asking to throw a pick.
PD, do offensive take shots down the field to open up the plays?
You take shots down the field when it's there.
I think the problem
sometimes they're taking just to open it up.
Let me tell you why some of these other teams get to take shots. Let me tell you why some of these other teams get to take shots all game. Because these other teams have a quarterback that's a threat with the underneath and in their running. So you have to actually come up.
Okay. Also, TD. I think that the elite quarterbacks like Rodgers and Mahomes and Watson, they don't get a read. Like when they get a play call, they don't get a read. They already know what's the first read. They'll skip a read and go to the third, fourth read.
Thank you. Spot on. They are like the great quarterbacks. They can already see what the defense is in and know if that first read is going to be there or not. And based off of the defense, they'll hike the ball and start at the second early because they already know what they're in. They're taking away my first read.
And right now, that's what Tua's lacking.
Taking the ball and looking at his first read, no matter
and
what.
That's what Tua's lacking.
Are you guys aware?
Hey,
are you guys aware that some of the best quarterbacks in NFL history are the guys that get the first read correct and throw it to
man, you wrong. You telling me right now the coach tells Tom Brady when Tom Brady
don't tell the coach tells him who's wrong, bro. Because when you're a quarterback, listen to me what I'm telling you, bro. When you're a quarterback and you line up under the center or at shotgun, and you can look at your team and the defense, and from before you even snap the ball, you know exactly where you're going to go, and it's a completed pass, whether it's deep, short, intermediate, it doesn't matter. You knew as a quarterback your matchup was going to win, and you took the shot and you won.
Yeah,
you basically saying
that was your first read. You did.
Hold on, no, Pete. There's
that was not your first read, Pete.
Hold on, no. It was your first read, Pete. It's 1,000% correct, but you gotta put some context behind that. The quarterback choose his first read rather than going to the first read.
True. There you go.
But I'm with you. You see, now we go back to what I've been saying. They're telling him where to throw the ball, and it's not only Tua. I don't want to sit here and say that's why Tua sucks or that.
So you're going to tell me that
Jacoby is not a
to throw the ball in his own end zone.
Listen, Jacoby is not a short, slow, weak on quarterback, okay? And they were calling almost the exact same plays, limiting him. You want a quarterback to go to his second or third option that are not even there on the play call because everybody's blocking. And
what you got to understand about that too is when you go to the line and you say,
hold on, Huncho, your running game is not even working. You're still calling like 80% of your plays are play out.
Right, bro. But when you go to the line and you say, okay, I'm not going to take the first read, then the reason why Aaron Rodgers is so good, because when he's not taking his first read, he changes the whole protection because he knows that protection not going to hold up because now he's going to this different read.
Okay, but that's pre-snap.
But still take some time to develop the routes down the field.
This is where you got to realize that's pre-snap. They're not giving Tua audibles. You're putting Tua on an Aaron Rodgers level, bro. Like, seriously?
No, I'm just saying in general, that's what makes an elite quarterback. Like, when you could go to the line, change the read, change the protection.
Can I say something real quick? How come Mac Jones is doing that right now? He's a rookie.
Mac Jones ain't do that last game.
What is Mac
And when he
Jones
did
doing?
last game, what happened? The Saints picked him off every single time.
Yeah, but
Every
Mac
time.
Jones was calling
When he
his
played a
protection.
formidable defense,
But
he got shut down.
Mac Jones is doing exactly what they're doing to Tua, by the way.
He was
Exactly.
calling his protections.
Mac Jones is doing exactly what Tua was
doing.
doing. They're telling him where to go and limiting him. They have not even opened him up. They haven't. They haven't.
They don't have the weapons on the outside to do that. He's a rookie.
They picking and popping with Mac Jones, man. They picking and popping with him. They just throwing 5 yards. He threw the ball against us 52 times or something like that, and he averaged 6 yards a pass, bro.
Name one wide receiver for the New England Patriots. Name one wide receiver for the New England Patriots. Name one.
They're pedestrian. They work at the local Walmart.
I have no idea.
Well, they got Nikhil
Malcolm Perry. Malcolm
All
Perry.
I'm saying is Mac Jones is an example. Mac Jones is an example. Whether he getting picked off or not, he's still doing more with less.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
How's he doing more with less, and he's got less yards than Tua per completion?
Oh, it's all about yards. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being a quarterback, going to that line, hitting your height, knowing your alerts, knowing your.
Well, how come he's not getting deep passes then?
You know, Belichick.
Nobody said that. First of all, we're not giving Tua deep passes. They're not giving Mac deep passes. But you know what? He's making more of them count.
Right. That's
how he's getting less completion percentage.
Oh my God, you're missing it. See, you talk about less completion percentage. The man is still moving the sticks, though.
Yes.
Listen,
how many first downs has New England got this season?
All I want to say is,
man, he probably got more. If Tua would have played 3 games, if Tua would have played 3 games, Mac Jones probably would have still had more first downs just in the first game alone versus the Dolphins.
Yes.
He was picking and popping. He got a lot
that Buffalo game was skewed the stats. See, you can't go that route. Stop it.
No, I understand. I said if Tua played 3 games, Mac Jones probably would have had more first downs in the first game alone than Tua's 3. Do you know how many first downs this man had against us?
Yeah, but you're saying the Buffalo game is included.
No, I didn't. I said if Tua would have played 3 games, Mac Jones would have probably still had the same more first downs than him.
And the Buffalo game wasn't as bad.
We playing catch up, TD.
The Buffalo game looked a lot worse.
I don't think you understand what I just said.
You don't understand, TD. He don't understand.
I just said.
I understand, but I'm just saying I don't buy it.
Listen, Mac Jones is 1 game versus us. He has tons of first downs.
How
that
many?
1 game alone, I have to go look it up. That one, bro, you watched the game, right?
No, he had 16 first downs against us. 16.
This man was going down the field left and right. Tua's getting like 8, 9 first downs a game, bro.
Yeah. He had.
And did he score?
The only thing about Tua is I think we need to slow down on judging him like just a bit. And the reason why I say that is we have not seen him let them just play free ball. That's just been the issue. And until we don't let them see that, and they're just going to continue to handcuff him, it's going to be sad to say. There's a chance we get rid of Tua, and we really never saw the best of him because
he'll go to New Orleans and win the Super Bowl.
I'm not going to go all in. All I'm saying is, I think the coaching staff is doing something to limit him. And what people don't really want to realize is this guy's a top pick, and that has a lot of weight. So you see other first-round draft picks already getting scrutinized because of their efficiency at turning over the ball.
That's the beautiful thing.
He'll go to the Jets and win the Super Bowl because Dave Wilson is on his way out the door. They're going to run him out of town too. So like they're running Tua out of town, he'll go to the Jets and win the Super Bowl.
The only thing is, I'm not here saying Tua is the best quarterback or he's ever going to be great. Now, the only thing is, we haven't seen it yet because they haven't really gave him the opportunity. Tua's like a kid that has outgrown the training wheels on the bike, but the parents are still scared to take him off the training wheels because they're scared he might scratch.
I think it's the other way around.
I agree.
Yes. Take off the training wheels.
I agree with you, Pete, on that. Yeah, that's fact.
So we really like
training wheels.
That's it. And when I say they need to let him loose, they need to let that young kid play from the first quarter on, spread it out, and do exactly what Coach Flores said he was gonna do. If not, I'm gonna hold Coach Flores accountable to that. and because that's obviously the scheme of our team with all these weapons.
But
Spread
you
them
gotta
out.
understand.
Spread
I
them
don't think
out.
I
Force
don't think the
teams to do
Dolphins.
what they don't want to do. Stop waiting on teams to see what they're doing to your offense.
Right.
Just
No.
overpowering everybody.
But I don't
You
think
got to
that,
dictate to the defense.
I don't
Like
think the
TD said
Dolphins
earlier.
use.
What did TD say? Oh, what Flores says, we're only taking shots when they give it to us. No, stop.
No.
We got too many weapons. Let's take
Right.
those shots because we're gonna get it from them. Remember, we had Devontae Parker, Stephon Gilmore. Throw it up, 1-on-1. Throw it up. Throw it out.
But you gotta understand. I don't think the Dolphins. I don't think the Dolphins thought they were gonna be good this year. I thought they was still. They probably thought they was gonna have 2-3 more years to still develop them and stuff. But the defense is so good, and you only get this type of defense once in a lifetime. So they trying to hurry up and excuse my language. Let's go get Watson real quick and just try to at least make it to the playoffs before this defense gets old and we gotta start trading people.
Well, the way they plan on offense, they're gonna make the defense age pretty fast. So they ain't got to worry about that. They're gonna age real quick.
That's what I'm saying. Like they didn't think we was gonna be this good. So I mean,
Who heard me on Larry's show before the Buffalo game when I told you guys the Buffalo are gonna play us close at the line. They're gonna try to jam us up. There's a chance Tua comes out and he has a huge 4 or 5 touchdown because we're just throwing it deep, right? What happened in that game, bro? Tell us
Tua
what
got
happened.
injured.
This guy got sacked.
Tua got demolished.
Look. He gets sacked on a single back. What formation was that? Double tight end, single back, play action? What was that, bro?
And then people keep saying he's injury prone. Tua is not injury prone. Did you see how hard Judon hit him and he got right up from that?
The thing
You
is,
gotta think
like,
about that.
we're trying to like scare a team like we got a good running back. Come on, bro. Spread it out. I want to see Fuller, Wilson, Preston, Parker, Tua.
Well, they didn't play with
first
yet.
quarter, throwing deep shots.
Fuller hasn't played with Tua yet.
I understand what you're saying, bro. But
you can't throw to a man that's not playing.
Right.
Just not.
But listen, Alfred, Jacoby Brissett, he could do it. Why didn't they do it with him? They like this coaching staff is waiting for you to or now we have to pass.
Let me ask
Guess
you
who
question,
knows when you have to pass deep now?
Let me ask
the
you a
Raiders,
question.
because
Who
you're
makes
one-dimensional in comeback
decision,
mode.
the quarterback or the coach, as far as what pass they throw?
Listen, all I'm asking for, Alfred, is before you guys start thinking Tua's a bust, because I'm like,
he's
you
not
gotta
a
give the kid a
bust.
chance, and you gotta let him run what the strength of your offense is.
Let's just talk about what we have right now.
We're trying to run the ball with Tua, like if we have a really good running game. Bro, Tua's supposed to be the best passer ever. Your scheme is set up with all these wide receivers, all these tight ends. You drafted Hunter Long, and you drafted Gesicki in the second round. Use them and abuse them. First quarter, second quarter. Come back after halftime. You got a lead. Oh, they think you're going to run? No. Tua's hitting Waddle over the air. 70-yard touchdown because now they think
this sounds easy, but you forget these grown men in the NFL.
Pete, I want to make a correction to you. You
Yeah,
said
but
that
you're not
Waddle
making
never
it
had
easy. Listen, how do you not use your strength? Now you're making it harder on yourself. Think about it.
You argue that Waddle hasn't even gotten a touchdown yet this year. Right?
Waddle does have a touchdown. Guys, 1 second. Can anyone hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Oh, okay. No, Pete. Are you... Pete, can you hear me?
Pete's mute.
Yeah, everybody can
I'm
hear you.
listening, RD. Talk to me, bro.
Yeah, okay. So just wanted real quick. The Tua train has left the station for many reasons, but it's completely done now for many reasons, right? There's like 6 reasons right off the bat. But
And a bust is not one. He's not a bust.
One thing I wanted to bring up was when you look at Jacoby Brissett, all right, except for one stupid play that he made. It was all him. It was all him that made that safety, right? It was had no like it was just bonehead, just like he threw the interception. He didn't see the safety. It was a floater there with the Bills game. Outside of that, Jacoby Brissett did the most he could do with the play calling and the offensive line that he had and his limitations, right? Because he's got limitations. The guy's been a backup his whole life, right? But he showed more in that game than Tua, outside of the Arizona game, has shown this entire career in the NFL. Second of all, this is not Alabama anymore, where everything is
You lost your
hunky-dory.
mind, bro.
No, that's some powerful drugs you taking. What state are you in? Is it legal down there?
So Jacoby Brissett's 212
powerful
yards
drugs.
is better. Wait. So Jacoby Brissett's 212
Y'all let
yards.
the man
What do you mean
finish.
200? What do you
Let the
mean
man
200?
finish.
Wait, let
What do
me
you mean?
finish real quick. Let me finish.
No,
So,
let him
wait, let me
finish.
finish.
Let him finish.
Unbelievable.
He never finished.
Wait a minute. 200 yards. The brother had three. First of all, there was 3 penalties against the Raiders that were not called.
I don't
right?
hit about penalties.
Not,
penalties
not,
happen.
wait, one second. The Will Fuller, he put that on a dime. Will Fuller didn't catch it. What game did you guys
The guy
watch?
was all over his neck.
What game did you guys
over Fuller.
watch? When did Tua ever pull a 50-yard pass right on top of the guy's arms, except for the one with Grant back in the day? Like one time.
Back in the
This
great.
guy
This in
had
the
5
game against the
passes
freaking
from
Patriots.
Wow.
What game are you watching?
This guy. Yo, so
Not
you
only
telling
did you
me?
get selective amnesia, you
Wait.
taking some powerful drugs that haven't been approved by the FDA yet.
Devontae Parker bailed him out one time. DVP bailed him out. He threw it behind Waddle, and then he completely missed.
Oh, now DVP bailed them out. That time I checked DVP checks a paycheck. They all get paychecks on the 1st and 15th of the month. So he's on the team last time I checked. So there's no bailing nobody out.
No, he
So
didn't. He bailed out. He bailed out Tua. He didn't bail out Brissett when he dropped it with the Bills.
Too. He's on the franchise. He gets a check.
Enough. The Tua train has left, bro. This guy can't even take a hit.
Okay. The
This
Tua
ain't
train has left,
Alabama.
right?
The
Right.
Tua
We all
train
agree.
is.
I'm gonna tell you
all
right now, RD.
Everybody
Tua
in this,
train?
everybody agrees that Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback. Right. But
Forget
you
about
telling me right
Deshaun.
now,
Deshaun has other issues.
right.
The
But you
cost
telling me
and
right
Then you
now
want to
that,
say that Brissett done
Hold it.
more in one game than Tua did in 9?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. You telling me right now that Brissett's
1,000%.
212 yards.
Unbelievable.
You telling me
thing that
Brissett's
These
212
guys have
yards
no
was better
idea.
than was
The
better than
game
his
that Brissett
was better than
had.
Tua's performance against the Cardinals last year?
That's what I'm saying. Outside of the Cardinals, he showed more.
Right.
Just
Now
think
you're
what
moving
the
the
Cardinals
goalposts because
did.
you said ever. Stop it. You've been busted.
Listen, we all agree that we want Watson, bro, but Tua is not a bust. He could just go somewhere else.
Right.
And develop.
He's going over bad. It's okay to want Watson, but you can't be here sitting here spreading lies
Yeah,
about
he
the
tripping.
quarterback.
Like all I'm saying is, I do want Watson to come to Miami. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
Tua's a bust
Right?
because he can't stay
Hold on.
healthy.
I
Everybody
do
knows
want
Watson's the
Watson to
best
come to
quarterback.
Miami.
That don't mean you have to
But
spread lies about Tua.
only I want Watson to come to Miami because we have a better quarterback, a franchise quarterback for years to come. You know, depending on what the situation is there. But I don't want to see Tua leave until we actually opened it up early and actually ran the strength of this team. I want to see it. So
he's
I'm
gonna be
hoping,
back. He's probably gonna be here until around the playoffs.
Listen, I'm hoping, we get to see Tua with an opened up offense with better play calling this season before the season goes to waste and we have to move on from this kid and never gave him that chance. Because one thing about a quarterback is all you really need to know is, like I told you guys, just how to get rid of the ball quick, know the play, and your first read. If you're smart enough to know that every time you look on your play, that guy's going to be open and you could dissect it that way, you're going to be considered one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So
yeah, man, I remember everybody was doing the same exact thing.
But this is the case though because
that is crazy.
This is the case though because
man got destroyed by the Buffalo Bills in the first 2
listen,
drives.
this is the case. This is the case with Tua though because they're comparing him now, and this is what's not fair. They're comparing Tua to a Deshaun Watson.
No,
that's not fair.
You know what I'm saying? They're comparing Tua now to an Aaron Rodgers. Listen to the weight that they're comparing this guy to. They're not.
We're not comparing him. We just saying We all agree
You
that.
guys are
We
not
all agree that.
comparing Tua to a
No.
Lock.
Wrong. Whoever said we're no, we're not comparing. What we're doing is we're evaluating what we have and evaluating the potential of what we're looking for,
Y'all
so
are
that way we
begging
can
for
determine
Watson.
if this is the right
This
move.
is what's going on. Y'all are begging for Watson and not realizing that they have not been able to use Tua to his full strength of this offense.
First of all, we don't need to beg for Watson. Watson wants to come to Miami.
Wait, we're giving up on Tua, but yet we have not been able to use him to the strength of this team.
We're not giving up on
because he's not there yet. He's just a rookie still. He's not there yet.
You're assuming he's not there yet, but yet the play call has been really suspect.
In the media.
We're not giving up on him. We just want to win right now.
Okay,
listen. But how do you know? Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Hold on. How do you know you can't win right now when it's clear the play calls has been truly suspect? You have your weapons.
How
all
about
of the
the
guys,
execution
you
has
have
been
them on the bench.
suspect?
You have three.
I'm with Alan this one. Execution has been suspect.
Could be right. Play calling and execution is suspect. They both suspect.
Listen,
well, they both get
y'all
suspect,
listen up because I don't want to scream over y'all.
Let's go one at a time.
Getting me upset. We're in goal line, right? Red zone, go to go. We got all these weapons. We call it Wildcat.
Exactly. That's a prime example.
Come on,
those
bro.
are the facts. Why are you calling a Wildcat?
But you call Wildcat
have Malcolm Brown.
The reason you call Wildcat.
You don't.
Let me explain why I call Wildcat.
In the Patriots game on 4th and 1, and you just to put Jacoby Brissett in there to make a first down, and they didn't do it when he was in there.
They called the Wildcat because the Wildcat allows the running back to get downhill faster, and it takes away the handoff. So you're not risking a fumble when the defense clearly knows that we're going to run the ball.
You know what? I would prefer to run the ball, spread it out with one running back in goal line. Because when you're in Wildcat, bro, everybody knows you're running the ball.
Wait a minute, but I give Pete this one.
The ball.
You got to spread it if you're going to run it.
You can't even fool the blind guy in the stadium.
Right, everybody know you're running the ball.
They're lining up in Wildcat. The blind guy said they're going to run it, bro.
They let them know we're going to run it.
Our strength is
that's even worse.
Pass the ball.
How did they win?
The running back gets downhill. Bro, our strength is not passing. Our strength is running the ball. Our strength is running the ball to open up the pass.
You guys are talking about
that's terrible. That's why we can't score points.
Strength, bro.
The terrible philosophy.
That's the terrible.
How's that a terrible philosophy?
For that.
That's football.
That's why we have all these wide receivers.
The Miami Dolphins are built the other way around. Hold on, Crypto. Hold on. The Miami Dolphins are built the other way around. I don't know if you guys listen to TD or not. I know I have, but he made this point. The passing is what's going to open up the running. We need to pass. We need to open it up. We need to spread it up. So that way, once we spread it, we can allow to have our running backs have actual holes. Because if we make it so obvious, we're never going to have the room to be able to run or be effective.
Right.
Once they spread it, Jolie, once they spread it and actually become a pass-heavy team to open up the run, to force teams into a dime and quarter package, and then we're going to be able to run. And then you'll see Miles Gaskins breaking more tackles because he's going against quarter.
So you're making my point for me. You're making my point for me.
Your point is wrong,
Jolie. Yeah,
your point is wrong. Obviously, nobody
said it earlier. We do have to
down on Judge and Tua because we have not done that, and that's our strength.
Hey
guys, we have not done that for a full.
We're not using our tools correctly. Is what's happening.
TD trying to talk.
And just because it's football doesn't mean it's great football. We don't have the personnel to run first. And
TD's trying to talk.
No. It's all good. I just sorry to interrupt y'all off. I just want to say, if y'all give me 2 minutes to say a few things. First of all, this conversation is going great. I don't want to end it, and we're not going to end it. We're going to keep going. I'm I'm going to be in and out. So if you ask me a question that I don't answer, I'm working on my other business. So please forgive me. Also, please, if I'm not, because I'm trying to police it as well, let's just make sure that since we got a lot of people in the room that we maintain respect for each other. We haven't done anything wrong at this point. I'm just making sure y'all know that since I'm going to be in and out. Just maintain respect for each other. Let people finish their point before we beat each other up. Let's have some productive conversation. And real quick on the current topic that y'all are talking about right now, man. Listen, I keep telling y'all, there are some things that analysts tell y'all in the NFL that for years, it's been an ongoing thing. You run the ball to open up the pass, right? You run the ball to open up the pass. But what they aren't telling you is that's symmetric. It goes both ways. You throw the ball to open up the run too. It goes both ways.
I agree.
So if you're a threat throwing the ball, you're gonna open up the run. If you're a threat running the ball, you're gonna open up the pass. And it's back and forth. And right now, we have our best offense when we pick up some first downs throwing the ball, and then we run the ball. Y'all remember that 3rd and 7, and we ran it up with Gaskins for the first down?
Yeah,
that was a genius play call. Scary, but genius.
It sure was.
What it does.
And I agree with you, TD. And where do you see this team lean more on? A team that needs to run the ball to open up the pass, or a team that needs to pass to open up the run more?
But Pete, you're saying they need to spread it out, but there's a reason why they're not spreading it out. Do you know what that reason might be?
Remember, of course, I used to be on the dark side. I came to the light, TD.
Why aren't they spreading it out, Pete?
Because
the quarterbacks can't
because
throw.
look, at first we thought, Tua's limited. He sucks. This and that. But when you really
he don't suck.
But at the same time, you got to really, really, really look at each game and see why and this and that. And bro, they should never handcuff Brissett.
This is what
and
it
by
is,
them
guys.
That's some
handcuffing
nuance,
Brissett,
right?
it almost clears up, bro. We need this team is supposed to be pass first, and they did that to Brissett too now for 2 weeks in a row. Not only Buffalo, now to the Raiders. And the Raiders were only rushing 4. So rushing 4 should have allowed us to open it up the whole game, bro. And we played tight. So it has to be the offense. It has to be the offensive coaching and the game plan.
Played like an elite quarterback.
We
don't have the making of any elite quarterback on our team now or even in the future. Right now, our entire mindset in that brain trust should be go find an elite quarterback for the future, or else you never have any Super Bowl hopes or dreams.
But RD, what you fail to realize.
The new NFL doesn't give a rat's ass what your team looks like if you don't
have
a top 10 quarterback. It's that simple. It's that simple. The competition has gotten so stiff. Look at the Rams. Look at Tampa Bay. Look at the Chargers. Look, they're Deshaun Watson away from being a dynasty.
Should have got her.
How do we know our elite quarterback is not on our bench right now? Got a flag vest.
We know because he can't take a freaking hit.
Yes, he can.
Drew Brees can't neither in his first 3 seasons.
What?
He could definitely
Drew Brees couldn't take it in his first 3 seasons neither.
Who couldn't take a hit in the first 3 seasons?
Drew Brees. He couldn't take a hit either.
Drew Brees
that is a fact.
I think you guys are confused on
can't take a hit is why he's not elite, and I just debunked that by saying Drew Brees also couldn't take a hit.
You didn't debunk nothing. He made it to the Super Bowl 1 time, and he needed all the stars to align.
Some people don't even make it. You said elite. You said elite.
So RD, explain to us what taking a hit is, bro. To you.
Please do.
Because I thought taking a hit is when you.
One second. You asked
Okay,
me
go
a question.
ahead.
I'm going to answer. You saw Jimmy G take a hit, the exact same hit that Tua took.
No, he didn't.
From a 350
let him
pound
finish.
guy on Sunday night. On Sunday night, it took a 350 pound guy coming to him on the edge, and the very next drive, he led him to a winning touchdown. Even though Rodgers
right.
No, when they lost.
Okay. Let me go now. Let me answer him real quick.
Absolutely not saying what you just said. He got right back up. I saw.
Right now, let me
I'm
answer
not done yet. I'm not done yet.
Okay, go ahead.
I saw the guy from Darnold. I saw Darnold get sacked 3 different times, and each time he got sacked with 3 people at the same time attacking him. Right back up.
Right.
He's enough with at Tua. He has a history, right? That was our number one concern. Like, this guy's injury prone. He's just young, dinged up. Last
Hey, can y'all even hear
Right.
him?
You know who did
No, I can't hear him.
No, barely.
Hey, RD,
I can't
RD,
hear
bro. Hold on,
You
y'all.
walking or something?
RD,
Very hard to
you,
hear him.
RD, you need to go out and
Fitting, it sounds like Charlie Brown and the Peanuts because the same
Hold on.
mentality is the
Hold
same,
on,
no
real
different.
quick. RD, I need you to go out and come back in, bro, because we can barely hear you, and we want to have a
I
good
think
show
I have
for
a
the
bad
viewers.
mic.
We
I
want
think
to
I
have
have
a
a
good
bad
show
mic.
for the
Okay.
viewers. But I will
It's
say
only
this:
funny that he
I
sounds
think
like Charlie Brown.
I think RD is being. I think his comment is kind of unfair about
Yeah.
Tua can't take the hit. But I want to play devil's advocate to that.
Crazy.
I want to play devil's advocate to it, y'all. Number one, on one side of the spectrum, it's unfair to say that because that's a hard hit. I mean, that's a hit that half the players in the NFL would get hurt from.
Right.
He was fully exposed when he
But
got
we
hit.
also have to
He also unblocked.
we also have to recognize on the flip side, a guy as small as Tua is going to get hurt faster with a type of hit like that than a guy as big as, one of the bigger quarterbacks.
Justin Herbert.
Herbert, yeah.
True, TD, but you cannot say that that's what's the sole reason why he would not be a
That's why I
quarterback.
said it was unfair. But I will say that given his size, he will be more. He would have a higher percentage of injury.
We all know that too.
Right. And this
right.
is where I was coming from because taking a hit means like you step up in the pocket, somebody hits you real hard, and then you get back up. Not somebody fractures your rib, and that's called getting injured. Actually, like you can't.
There's a big
like
difference.
taking a hit is way different than being injured.
Pound man jumping on you than a 250-pound man.
Not even. You just physically can't perform with a broken rib, with a fractured rib.
Exactly.
You need your core to throw. You need your core to throw the ball.
Like I understand if he got hit and ran to the sideline, like I don't want to play no more, but that's not what happened.
Right. He actually wanted to come back in that game.
Yeah,
he would have. If they allowed him to, he would have.
But like PD said,
Florida stopped him from coming back.
Small. He is small, and whatchamacallit is 280 pounds. The dude that hit him. So no, I understand. So I mean, I get it. When you that small in the NFL, you're gonna break bones and shit.
Right. That doesn't question his toughness because he was tough enough to want to come back. Maybe Garoppolo wanted. Maybe Garoppolo was his ego wanted him to come back in that game out there because he know who's breathing down his neck for his job. So he had an incentive to want to come back early, even no matter what kind of hit Garoppolo took. So he
that's like saying Alex Smith can't take a hit.
Buddy, you get hurt, you done. You ain't never getting this job back.
Yeah, that's a fact.
He had an incentive to come back in the game.
If we had a
Versus
better,
Tua,
if we had
he didn't
a
think it
better
was in
backup
jeopardy.
quarterback, Tua would have been scared. But
Right.
since
Tua didn't have that much incentive to come back in the game in a hurry.
Right now, any QB that stands up behind our O-line, they're brave as hell because our O-line can't stop nothing.
If we had a QB that could play backyard football like Mahomes, Watson,
and that's
right.
And that's the crazy
we
part.
would have to be
But wait, I got a quick question real quick for the panel, real quick.
50 pounds
Quick
to play
question.
behind our
go ahead.
line.
Real quick question. So if like whoever just said that, I'm sorry, I didn't see who said it. But about having a quarterback to be brave behind our O line. So do you think that might make Watson not want to come here?
No. I got
This
something.
offensive line was just as bad.
No, but see, think about it.
Watson never had a want to come here with that O
No
line.
QB wants to be behind the O line where they're going to be getting hit 24/7.
No,
or they're going to be
Watson
running.
His offensive line got 3 Pro Bowlers on it, bro.
Yeah, and Watson is mobile. Every QB is mobile.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean he wasn't running.
He had that chance
QB Harry.
Yeah, he had it, but I mean,
Watson never cared about that.
Yeah, because he do half rollouts. He moves the pocket, so he don't concern himself as much.
Bro, I'm a Watsonaire. I watched every Watson game. He doesn't care about that. He wants to come to the Dolphins.
Watson's not a stationary quarterback.
Actually, Stephen Ross wanted him, but it's just a matter of telling Greer to go out and get him.
It's too much of a
Yeah,
risk
but they
right
need to
now.
make that move
It's
because they defense right
nah.
now is too. They gotta do it because with Tua and Brissett, y'all not going to really get nowhere. And if y'all do make it to the playoffs, it's going to be like, who are y'all really going to beat in the playoffs with the lackluster quarterback play and the lackluster play calling? It's not. You can't have both going
So
hand to
how
hand
Watson is going to make that better when you think about it? Because if the play
because he's
calling
going to.
is
He's going
whack,
to.
Extending
If the
plays.
play
I mean,
calling is
it's
whack,
easy to
he's
know
going to
how you're
say,
gonna make it
"Listen."
better.
He's going to say, this is not the play we need to go to. Y'all just spent all this draft capital on this man. They're going to listen to what he has to say. It's like
so
Brady
don't you
going to
think
the
Tua is
Bucks.
talking like that in the QB room?
Not even
No,
Don't you
just
if he
think?
that.
don't, if he
Tua,
don't know the
No,
playbook,
Tua
how
is
is
not
he?
talking
Tua
like
If he
that.
doesn't
doesn't
even
know the
talk
No,
like
playbook,
Dak
that.
how is
already
he going
did
to?
that already. He even
If he
cut it
doesn't know
from
the
playing
playbook,
from
how is
last
he
year.
going to
Well, I
tell
need to
them?
talk to the
who
FBA
asked
because
this?
this is a
No.
powerful
Who
drug
asked
on the
that
market
question? Who
you guys
asked
are
that
sampling
question?
that ain't been approved.
Who asked that question?
Ro
I have
asked
no
that. Yeah,
idea.
Ro asked the question.
Bro, you gotta stop that mess.
If he doesn't know the playbook, how is he going to make suggestions?
if you look how Tua plays,
He knows
he
it.
plays.
He
He's a
doesn't know the
very
Suggestion.
playbook.
technical
That's
quarterback.
why they haven't opened the playbook up. Y'all got two of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and y'all
Oh,
not throwing the ball down the field. Come on,
right,
man.
because that's
Hey,
not
we
the
got
type of
breaking
player Tua
news. Hey,
is.
y'all, we got
Tua is a
breaking news.
technical player.
We
They're
got
not throwing
breaking
the ball
news.
Cisco,
down
We
the
got
field
breaking
because they
news.
can't.
Yep.
What's the
What's
breaking
up?
What the
news,
hell,
Tay?
Breaking
man?
news, breaking
We got
news.
breaking news. The Miami
Watch it.
Dolphins just traded for right tackle Taylor Moton from the Carolina Panthers, baby.
Yes, sir.
there you go.
Woohoo!
Yes,
There you go.
Yeah,
sir.
okay.
There you go.
Hey,
The,
now I
That
was
don't
just,
the,
matter.
hey,
You
hey,
still
hey,
got to
now
the
I
push
was
the
just
team.
ball
joking.
down the
I
field.
was
Think
just
about
joking,
it. The
y'all. I
team.
was just joking. I was just joking.
How's
Don't get
that
me
going
started.
to
Get
fix
out of
the
here,
line?
TD.
I was just joking. All right, don't get
But think
excited.
about it
I was
though.
about to
Ah,
say,
Ah,
Taylor Moton might be a
That's
boost on
mean,
the
man.
Dolphins.
bro,
I'm
it
looking.
don't
I'm
matter
looking
what
at
line it is. I think
GG.
but if you look
Br-
how Tua plays,
Jacoby Brissett.
he's more of a technical quarterback. Like you could just look at it. He's not like really smooth or loose in the pocket. He's very technical. If you look at Watson, he's loose in the pocket, smooth. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just
Yeah, I watched all his games. That's why I
Tua is the
watched
type
all
of
his
quarterback
games
that'll
last
be
year.
good for the Patriots. He's the type of quarterback that'll be good for like the Tennessee Titans, the Patriots. Play action is very
He's
specific.
not going to be a good NFL quarterback if he doesn't change his ways. You can't have
You
defenses
can't
saying
say
if you
that,
take
bro.
away his bro. If I said unless he changes, you can't have defenses saying if you take away his first read, he's flustered because. Once they started doing that, you seen he got flustered. Jacoby Brissett right now is going to give y'all the best chance to win.
He's gonna get
As
injured
bad as
running around like
as
that. He's gonna get injured
as
if he keeps doing that.
listen,
Yep. Tua
he's
need a little
big.
bit more dog
He's
in him.
big.
When you
He's
when
like
you mean
6'3",
chance to win like
250.
starting a 19-0 run
size
by
don't
dumb
mean
pass
nothing.
in your
Just
own end
because you're
zone?
taller to it don't mean nothing.
Bro,
Tua need to go to the hood for a
I
week.
got it. He gives us the
listen,
best chance to
Jacoby.
win.
Listen,
We can get momentum.
if
Yeah,
if it
I
wasn't for
got it.
Jacoby Brissett, y'all wasn't going to be in that game.
No,
All
if it
right,
wasn't
all
for our
right.
defense,
It
You
was
don't
a
we
know
wasn't
that.
gonna
You
be in that
don't
game.
know that.
plays.
No, if it
It was
wasn't
a
for
Scored
Jacoby
14
Brissett,
points.
consistent
who
So
made those
play.
plays to pitch y'all in the
why are
overtime?
you ahead?
My brother,
It was
It was
Jacoby
Who pitch
Brissett
broken
y'all?
threw the ball.
plays.
Oh,
My brother,
14 points.
Jacoby Brissett
Listen,
threw the ball 49 times for 212 yards passing.
Nope.
if y'all
Exactly.
running drags all day, then how are y'all gonna?
14
If y'all
points.
running drags all day, how he gonna get the ball downfield?
But
He's
why are they
running
running the
drag every.
drag still?
you
Did you
take
not
The
see
O
you
him
Y'all
take
passing
line
the
what
running
the
ball
drags
down?
defense
because y'all
gives
play
you.
calling suck.
Oh,
Your offense got
no,
hold up,
two
hold up,
Nope.
hold up,
coordinators.
hold
The
up,
Y'all got
hold
reason
up.
two
you
offensive
say is
coordinators
because
that
of
suck.
Brissett
He threw the
is the
ball.
reason
All
why
I'm
we
gonna
was in the
say is
game.
this: you
So
take
y'all think
what
y'all
the
would have been
defense
y'all,
gives you.
y'all think
the
y'all think
defense
y'all
was
would
in his
y'all
face. The
think y'all would
defense
have
was in
so
his
y'all think
face.
y'all would have won if Tua was in there?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Yeah,
of course.
Oh
yo,
my
whoever the
god.
quarterback is, we always have a
Bro,
chance to
we're
win.
not
Oh
saying
my
that Tua
god.
is a bust. We're not saying that Tua is a bust. We saying with the team we have right now,
Tua is not your guy.
if we get a quarterback like Watson, we don't all these 20, 15, 20 years of us suffering is done. You know
Let's
what I'm
get
saying?
some.
No, if
We're
y'all
not
get
saying let's
Watson,
get
Hey,
y'all
hold
two
Tua
on,
could
could
go
go
GD.
be
contenders.
Hold
Tua
on,
could go
GD.
be a Hall of Fame quarterback for the Green Bay
So please
Packers.
Please stop it with Jacoby is our best option. Please stop it.
If y'all get Watson,
how many Super Bowl trophies does the Buffalo Bills have?
Y'all gotta stop.
Who said
none?
none?
If y'all listen, if y'all get Watson,
trying to tell me, y'all sitting here, keep on making this point that we would have won that game if Tua was in. Here's where I push back. I don't know what would have happened if Tua was in. But the one thing that I do know is that the only reason we were in the game, period, was because somebody was escaping pressure most of the game.
Exactly.
And I
But they
don't
want to
think
fight it.
Tua would have escaped the pressure like that.
He's scared.
Pressure ain't nothing to do with you. Spotted 14 points. You should never lose regardless of who your quarterback is.
Tua was spotted 10 and given 4 turnovers with the Chiefs last year, and it didn't matter.
If you
question for you.
14, but the defense actually scored. That was the difference. In that Kansas City game, they didn't score.
But regardless,
They
the
spotted us
defense
14
gave
points.
you 4 possessions versus Kansas City and spotted 10.
They
You
gave
know,
us
after we looked at the game, everybody did their
possessions in
part.
this game.
Yes, yes.
When they get 3 straight fourth quarter stops, and they gave us the
when
ball,
Tua
and it
come
took us the third time a pass interference call to get us down to the goal line.
This is exactly why I wish Tua wasn't hurt, because I wanted him to play in a game like yesterday.
No, because he's gonna
And-
come
Yeah,
back.
we-
and he's
then
not
we would
gonna
really
look like
know.
Jacoby.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why.
Jacoby's not gonna look like Jacoby. They have 2 different types of players.
Bro,
Of
because
course he's not.
with this bad offensive line, you need to escape the pressure. That's why I said
But how
Johnny
much games
Watson.
can you survive
Johnny
like that?
Watson.
How many games can you survive
Jacoby
like
got
that?
sacked.
If Jacoby
Everybody
did
does
what
it
he
every
did,
Other
week.
than
You
that,
cannot
fourth and
play
10.
every game like
Everybody
that.
does it
if
every week.
Fourth
Jacoby
and 20, he
escaped,
only escaped the pressure once.
now are you crazy?
He's crazy.
On fourth
He's
and 10,
crazy.
the only
That
time he
man
made
escaped pressure. Bro, I don't have the exact count, but I'm willing to bet that man escaped pressure more than 7 times.
Yeah, I agree with that. But how many games can we go like that?
He converted
to
on
win?
almost all of them. What are you talking about? Do you
I
know
mean,
how many first downs he picked up with his legs alone?
That's not sustainable over a long period. That's not
Everybody
sustainable.
does it
Because
every
if they
week.
drop a QB spy and a linebacker and a QB spy,
Wait a minute. That's the new NFL. What are you talking about? That's
He said it's not
They
sustainable like
they
Lamar
already
Jackson
know
gonna do
that
it week after week.
That's what I'm
see,
saying.
Lamar's
You
a different
you don't
beast.
know what he's
He can play
talking
running
about.
back if he wanna.
Every
He can play
every
running back.
team has
His
to get it.
QB's job is
Everybody
not
knows
to
it's
do that.
sustainable. That's obvious because, like you said, Lamar Jackson does it every week. Mahomes does it every
But
week.
every
But it
team
doesn't
has
matter.
to do it.
Herbert
You
does
gotta
it.
have the right quarterback
Jacoby
to do
Brissett
it.
has the least pair of legs.
Herbert does.
You have to do whatever it takes to win every week. That's all people are saying. Yeah, you don't want to do it every week, but you got to do whatever it takes to win. And as
Right.
far as for Mahomes and Lamar and all of them, they do it every single week. It's
That's a
escaping the
special
pressure,
case,
making
though.
plays.
That's a special case.
Right, we
That's
know that's
a
in our
special
DNA.
case.
That's a special player.
Quarterbacks that's in our
That
DNA.
may be a
I see what you said.
The team is developed
buddy.
for that. The
If more
team is
than one
developed
can
for
do
that.
it, that's not a special place. That's called the new NFL.
Tua needs to be tougher.
Yes.
Not all
Lord.
not all
I don't
teams
know.
are like that, though.
You're
Not all
right.
teams
Tua
are like that.
it wouldn't have came down to him trying to escape the pressure because he would never threw that pass to Waddle on that 4th and 2 that changed the momentum when they went on a 19-0 run. So we'd have never been in that predicament in the first place.
The man has no swagger. That's what he's missing. Like he needs some, like, I don't know, like some swag.
Let's
I
say
don't know
we
if
haven't
you
seen
think-
it as yet. I don't
We
think we've
wouldn't-
seen it yet.
He just don't be talking like the way he let JC Jackson. The way he let JC Jackson just call him suspect and all that, like, bro, you got to speak up. Like, I don't know, he got to be just more tough to me. Like, he just.
Yeah, I agree.
We don't care about the opinions of other people's team because they was roasted by the wide
Yeah, but
receiver
at the end of the day, if he
on
would have said something like that, to
NFL
Patrick
players
Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers,
People
Tom Brady, they would have said
Tom Brady,
Tom Brady would have said something back.
He don't say nothing back to him. He let his game play decide
What you
how he
mean?
goes.
You ain't see how
he
Tom
don't
Brady
say nothing back to him.
You don't see the last game. You ain't see the Tampa Bay game. The first
Brady
Tampa Bay
don't talk to the press and say,
when Tom Brady
because
ran into a defensive
said
player
something bad
with
about
his
me,
shoulder.
I'm going. He'll wait till the game get played and then he'll light them up. He don't say nothing about. He don't say nothing back to them in the
Tom
press.
Brady talked the most shit in the NFL. Excuse my language. Sorry.
At the
Tom
game, but he don't do it. He don't talk to the press about it. He don't give a damn about people talking crap
You said
about
Tom
him.
Brady don't talk to the press, so he didn't tell the press. So he didn't tell the press. So he didn't tell the press that we got the real Gronkowski.
Because he has
He didn't
to.
tell the press that we got the real
It's his
Gronkowski.
job.
He ain't say that to the press.
It's his job to talk to the press.
If you don't talk to the
So
press,
he
you're
didn't
fine.
throw it. So he didn't throw it.
He does it on the field, but he doesn't trash talk behind the press.
Hey guys, can I say something?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Like Jacoby Brissett had 40 passes for 169 yards and a pick all the way until the fourth quarter until he tied it with that touchdown run. And I'm just wondering, like, what if Tua had a game like Jacoby did, y'all would be crushing Tua right now.
He had a pick.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, he had a pick.
I
He had a
gotta
pick.
agree
He had
with you on that.
169 yards and a pick on 40 of his passes until that fourth quarter when he started that comeback drive. And yeah, he did complete that 2-point conversion, and he did score that, that touchdown, completed that 4th and 20. That's great, man. But like, do that the whole game.
No,
Like that's why. That's
let me respond.
isn't that our same frustration with Tua, right? Is
No, it's not. Let me tell you why. See, everybody want to run that false narrative that if Tua would have had that game, y'all would have been killing Tua.
Oh, I'm not.
Let me tell you the difference. And the Patriots game last year is proof of it, at least with me. Tua played like trash at first with that Patriots game. I'm the one who feels like that was his best game because he figured it out and he came back at the end and made the plays. Right. And if Tua would have had the same game Jacoby had, I would have raved about the poise of figuring it out and putting the team on your back at the end of that game. I proved that last year with the Patriots game. When I say what was Tua's best game last year, I still say it was the freaking Patriots game because that Arizona game, they gave Cushion the whole freaking game and he took everything they gave him. And that ain't a knock on him. That's a good thing regardless. But the Patriots game where it was gritty and grindy last year, he freaking figured it out. They didn't pull him and he got the job done at the end. I would not have been linking on Tua in that game because he would have figured it out. It's not about playing trash for part of it. It's about figuring it out and putting the team on your back and getting it done. The problem is Tua have shown too many games where the whole freaking game has been below what we expect.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, but at the same time, look at the line. The whole game is awful, and this guy's a pocket QB, right? That's why we're all saying Watson would probably be better on this team. Can't disagree with that.
I agree. That's 100% agreeable. But we already knew that.
Experience also.
He doesn't suck. We just want to.
I just feel like they're setting him up for failure here in Miami.
That's
just how I feel. I feel like they can't figure it out with what we have right now, and I think that has to fall on the coaches. It has to.
So my question is,
if we all setting him up for failure, then why?
That's my frustration with this team currently. Is
no, but my question is, if
either make the trade for Watson or figure it out with what we have.
The Watson situation is still up in the air, so we can't go get him right now.
We can get him right now if they want to. Right now.
Survive behind this line.
What do they want?
We can't get him now.
I don't want to give them the house unless I know we
get him right now. We get him cheap.
Okay, you're right.
I understand not giving up the house. Down the road. If they want to give up the house, they can do it. They can do whatever the hell they want. They obviously can't figure it out with the players that we have now.
I don't want to give up the house. All I'm saying is I don't want to give up the house if I know Watson's not going to come play.
Wait a minute. Wait, real quick, guys.
Last year's first round picks and ask them how productive are they with first round picks anyway. So whether they keep their picks or not, it's irrelevant. They gonna give up the house if they know they ain't gonna do nothing. The 3 first round picks that they got right now.
Look at the last 5 years, and tell me how many of those players have been hits and are still on the team.
Right? Yeah.
Therefore, I
mean, do we care about
reaches? When you pick for need, it creates reach at that point. And that's what the Dolphins have been doing, notorious every year.
We've been reaching every year.
They pick for need and not.
So
and
why are we coddling picks and saying, "Oh, we can't give up these precious future picks"? Well, what are you doing with those future precious picks when it's come time to bait the selections? So far, we got 2 teetering on the bus with Noah Ignacy, Austin Jackson, and Tua is a question mark. So that's 3 right off the bat of your first round picks that's borderline could be potential bust as a Dolphin. So
we have the picks, but we need experience. We need experience behind them, behind those picks.
Look, let's get something straight. Until 3 years go by, nobody's a bust. because
Right.
you
As
can't
well.
tell.
You can't. Well,
tell
this is
till 3 years go
this will
by.
be next year. Be year 3 for those players.
And that is why I said, look at the last 5 years. And out of the last 5 years, how many of those players are still here, and how many have been hits?
I mean, how long have we had good
Right. Last 5 years. Yeah.
You
Exactly.
traded most of them.
Wilkins is coming pretty close to being, halfway decent.
Oh.
Look,
well,
if
we
you
would
think about
kept,
it,
if we would have kept Tunzo, he would have been a gold pick.
The teams.
Wilkins still isn't where the coaching
He's been a
staff
great
wants him,
pick.
though. Wilkins still isn't where the coaching staff wants him, though. I mean, you got Sealer or Seiler, however you say his name. Like, he's beating Wilkins out right now. Like, Wilkins has underperformed for us. And then you got Austin Jackson. He's a train wreck right now. He's definitely regressed under this coaching staff. I'm not sure who to blame, but probably just, I think you can blame Greer on that one because we took a reach at tackle when there was a lot of better players available at that point. You got Noah, who was another reach, another wasted draft pick. He's a healthy scratch almost every game. I swear they just activated him last week just to say that they could activate him.
On the Christian,
They didn't play him.
I will go back to the Wilkins thing. On Christian Wilkins thing, I say he's gotten better every year. He takes up double teams and that frees up people. Same thing. I'm not saying that's what he does. He gets double.
That's why I say he's above average.
Time. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, that's why now he's above average now.
Yeah, and somebody else beat that helps somebody else beat their 1-on-1, and therefore they get the sack. Even though we don't get that many, but it helps out. He's been getting a lot more sacks. I think he's going to end the year with like 8 sacks. I think he could do it.
Yeah, he's progressing, and this is his 3rd year. That's why I say he's the only one left out of like what Joe Lee was saying in the last 5 years that can say, "Oh, this was the right guy."
And that's we've spent way too many.
Anybody else? Anybody else on this?
Go ahead, Ashton.
Is there anyone else that we drafted 5 years ago still on the team? Anybody?
Yeah, there are other guys that
from 5 years ago. Yeah.
Is Gesicki one of them?
No.
Well, yeah.
3 years.
No.
Okay, 3 years.
Beyond 3. He's in his 4th season.
Yeah. Hasn't X been on
And
the team
Parker
for a
is the
while?
only other one.
Oh, X been on the team.
Oh yeah,
5
definitely
years.
Parker.
Yeah, X. But that
Parker,
was a game. I mean, that's a game pick, man.
Rid of Parker since 2018. I've been on the record for that one.
But guys,
the time and date when he's going to be a Dolphin.
Out of the 30 picks that we've had in the last 5 years, literally only a literal handful of them have actually panned out. So
we know who the worst one of them all was.
If we know for sure we can get a franchise quarterback for the next 10, 15 years, give up the farm. Because at this point, we're not in that good record when it comes to actually getting quality for these picks anyway. So we might as well
exactly. So you might as well go and take
I don't mind giving up the farm. The only thing I don't mind, we give up the farm for Watson Good. Only thing I want to know is Watson going to play, or is the NFL going to step in and try to put him on the list? That's all.
You give up the farm for Watson, you better be fine.
Guys, but listen.
All I'm saying is if he going all I'm saying is yes, give up the farm, but will the league let him play? That's all I'm saying.
It doesn't even
will they let him play?
Wait. Even if he's not playing, think about this. We don't need him to play this year. If realistically,
we don't need him to play
because we want him.
You don't need him to play this year, then you don't need to get.
Then you don't need to make the trade this year. You wait till next year when this is all over with.
We need
you can finish up with Brissett.
So every other team is going to actually bid for him. Where they're not going to want 3 firsts, they're going to want 4 firsts, 6 seconds, and your entire team. No, right now is the only time when we're going to get him the cheapest. So now is when we need to get him. Sit him on the bench, let him learn the plays, let him teach Tua on a sideline, and then by the time this year's gone, 2 things will happen. Tua will
a little ace in the hole here,
more play time, and
Watson's not cheap. There's a report out there saying the Texans refused 3 first rounds in 2 seconds for him. That's not cheap, man.
Hey guys, let down.
Yeah, I see him. I see him raise his hand. I just think
I mean,
you guys are saying he's cheap. Like they refused 3 first rounders and multiple second rounders.
Fine,
according to a report.
It's going to be like 5 first
I'm
rounders
gonna
and
let
10 second
Donald go
rounders.
because he's got his hand up for a long time.
Yeah. And
What's
But
up, Donald?
Logan, but
What up,
Logan, it's
Donald?
like a draft and stash, you know.
I got you, Donald. Hey, y'all, listen. While we're having this conversation, because I'm stepping in and out, be mindful of other people's voice too. Sometimes, check. Sometimes just take some time to be quiet and let other people go, and then just be mindful of everybody, because usually I love to do like 4 to 5 people on the screen, but I'm trying to let y'all have dialogue. But it does become a little muffled when everybody's trying to go. So just be mindful of that, because I want to be able to do this more often. But Donald, I think you were trying to say something.
Yes, sir. If I can just have 2 quick points, and I will get off and I will let y'all continue to listen while I'm up here doing homework. I got 2 things. One, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 4th game of the season. Are we in panic mode this quick?
I'm not.
Yep.
I'm
We're in
serious.
panic mode.
This is exactly what it sounds like, though. I'm from this standpoint. Just hear me out on this. Tampa Bay finished the season at 10-6 last year, but their first 6 games they were 2-4 until they started getting things together. Right now, our team has to figure out its identity, because in that Raiders game, the one thing that I think is omitted out of all of that, the Miami Dolphins had 133 yards rushing in that game. And to me, they gave up that particular aspect of the offense too quickly. The offensive line was beginning to get an identity. They were beginning to move the ball. And then anytime you got your quarterback throwing for 50 times in a game, that is overabundance of throwing the ball. You look at Dak Prescott on Monday night, he did not throw the ball that much.
Because they didn't need to.
He didn't need to.
He was
Exactly,
efficient,
because the
he was
running
efficient.
game complemented the passing game.
We don't have Cowboys O-line now.
But we understand that. But please keep in mind, too, on our O-line, it is the youngest offensive line in the game.
That's their
We
fault.
don't
In the
have
history
a
of the game.
veteran. We don't have a veteran presence on the line to guide them. Jesse Davis is supposed to be that, being 7 years in the league, but is he a leader? To me, no. Same thing I say about Preston. I'm sorry, Devontae Parker as the receiver. He's been here 7 years, and as much as everybody's on his jock talking about he's the leading receiver, he's not. To me, that's 7 years that we've invested, and we're not seeing a value of return on that investment. That's one.
They're going to have to re-sign Fuller.
Yes, definitely. Yes. But number 2, also please keep this in mind, ladies and gentlemen. We have a rookie head coach. I don't care how you want to put it. This is his first stint as a head coach. He's got to figure some things out. And that comes from having coordinators, that comes from having other coaches on the offense and defense. He's learning how to be in charge and be a head coach too. He's going to make mistakes. The coordinators are going to make mistakes. And I get that. I know we're impatient right now. I know we want to see results. I've been watching this team since 1969. And I don't care how you want to put it, like it, lump it, say amen, or choke. A rookie or a first-year player in the NFL, when you're talking about, if you take across the board, 32 teams having rookie players, first-year players, and second-year players. The average amount of time it takes an NFL player to understand and grasp either offense or defense is 3.5 years.
You got
and
it.
we're at 3.5 years. That's the average. Now, I know everybody want to talk about Justin Herbert and things of that nature, but guess what? He's an anomaly. If you look at the average, he's an anomaly. He is not the average.
What about Joe Burrow?
We don't want to do, because we see too many mistakes and too much meat left on the bone out there, is to give them an opportunity to develop. But I do believe in one thing, just like with Jalen Phillips. if you put too much on their plate too soon, it can overload and cloud their thinking from their performance. And this is where the coaches have to point out and simplify things, not only with Jalen Phillips, Tua, Jalen Waddle, and the rest of them. Simplify what they do. I pray, especially with Studsville there as a co-offensive coordinator, that this team gets an identity, especially on the O-line, and becomes run first. Because then later on in the season, when you need that passing game to come into fruition, they will begin to have an established identity, and you will begin to see the growth.
No.
Yeah.
What I think
I agree
they
with
need
you
to
a
do,
1,000,000%.
listen, what I think they need to do is focus on the pass. Y'all got two of the fastest receivers in the NFL. If they gonna play off y'all need to do screens, quick screens, bubble passes, all that good stuff. There's no reason why y'all shouldn't be throwing for 300 yards every game when y'all got the receivers y'all got. Gesicki's wide open most of the time. If
Thank
Gesicki's wide
you.
open most of the time,
That's
that needs
true.
to be y'all first
Thank
read.
you.
Gesicki is not the best tight end, but he's the only one that's trying to make plays on his team. He might be rounding off his routes. He might
Thank
not know how to
you.
block, but he knows how to get the ball and he knows how to get open. So
Hey,
that's
GG,
who they first read need to be.
GG, what team you
We need
what's
to
your
run
team?
the ball too.
Hold on.
I'm
Who's your team?
I like Miami, but like I said, I'm a Watsonaire, and I
Oh,
hope he
but
come to
you're a
Miami.
Houston fan right now?
No, I'm not a Houston fan because
He just like the player.
they don't know what to do. There's no reason why you give up the number one receiver. Y'all got rid of half of your defense, and y'all think Watson can do it by himself. It's not. I mean, he did do it by himself because they lost like 9 of their games or 1-score games. So I don't want to hear people talking about, oh, Watson had a losing season. Watson drove the ball down the field and put them in position to win, and then at the last second, the defense gave it up. So if he comes to Miami, Miami will be a Super Bowl team because I watched every last game of Houston last year and I said they're not going to get it done the way Bill O'Brien is operating his team and whoever else they come and bring in here because they gave away too many pieces. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, we got the youngest team in the NFL, but okay, y'all had plenty of opportunities with 3 good linemen in free agency. Y'all got all this money. Y'all need to spend it. What they need to go do, because Aaron Rodgers is not going back to the Packers next year if they don't win it all. And Devontae Adams, they not prioritizing his contract.
Yeah.
He might, but if y'all throw enough money at him next year, y'all gonna have $100 million in salary cap. If Watson comes to this team, that's gonna make it better for free agents to want to come here because they know what type of player Watson is. They can't not let Watson play because under the new CBA, you can't unless he's found guilty. They can't step in, and if they step in, he's got the right to appeal it. So everybody that's saying he might not be able to play this year, that's why they haven't done anything yet.
No doubt about
that's what
that.
I'm saying.
That's not the issue.
That's why I've been trying to explain that to people. If the league steps in, they'd be overstepping their bounds, and he would go through the process of appealing.
Right.
But they could still step in and just take that risk because there's no consequence for them. But
if they were going to do that, they would have did that already.
That'd be a hot potato.
And they also already had their investigators interview these women, and the women were upset because they feel like the lining of questions was more so about them, and because it didn't add up. They said they wouldn't allow the NFL to interview them again because they felt like they were siding with Watson to a degree, and that the NFL just
but it has something to do with the players union.
Yeah, the NFL just sent their best female investigator, and the women didn't like how the questions and what she was asking. It almost put onus on them because I already know, based off of all the reports, I've read half of them now. I'm still reading them. Based off of all the reports that I've read, like the details of all the complaints, which y'all can go find, by the way, it's right out.
Oh yeah, it's public. Yes.
When you read it, it's a half of them aren't even a crime, and that's why I guess half of them didn't file a police complaint. Most of them were just about how uncomfortable they were.
Right.
And the
Who
other
said that,
ones,
Logan? That's correct.
and the other ones,
It's a money grab.
and
It's a
half
money
of
grab.
and half of the other ones that are police complaints were things that can easily be misunderstood, like like his privates were out and that's indecency or things like that. Like you probably have like five cases where they said there was like this physical thing that wasn't uncomfortable, but those don't even spell out refusal, which is crazy. It's one of the most
That amounts to
crazy
assault,
things.
right?
Yeah, it's one of the most.
It doesn't
crazy
reach the
things.
level of assault.
So
And that's
doesn't
why
meet
the
the statutory
FBI
definition.
is checking for extortion. People
Well,
fail to realize the FBI
well, I
is checking
don't
for
want to give a
extortion.
false narrative here because I want to play both sides here. They are checking for extortion, but they're also checking to see if there were crimes committed across states, and that's why the federal government got involved in the first place. Soliciting
Sound like extortion to me.
Well, if there was a
Yeah.
crime, and you did it over the internet, that's why it becomes
FBI did
federal.
it at the federal level. Yeah,
If
the
it's a
federal.
crime, and if there wasn't a crime, they are also looking at extortion as well because they have evidence to believe that there is a level of that too. But that's not all the cases. So let's be clear. They're only investigating a few cases of potential extortion, and from my understanding, the FBI hasn't really been investigating the allegations per se, but to see if there was a crime committed on the internet.
Listen, if Watson come to Miami, y'all going to the Super Bowl. I'll tell you that right now because he's going to fix all your offensive problems. I promise you that.
Well, that's true.
I'll give you a fact.
That's true. However, please keep in mind, this team right now, as it's currently composed right now, is not built to be a passing team yet.
Yes, it
Not
is.
with the QB.
No, it's not.
Right now. Now, if you're talking about getting Watson, totally get what you're saying. We have the pieces in place to do exactly that. But right now, with Tua Tagovailoa as well as with Jacoby Brissett, this team is not composed enough to be a total passing team.
It is, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why when you finish. When you finish, I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay, I'm with you. But the only thing I'm saying is, with the line as being as inexperienced as it is, not being able to get the identity that we want. It's not that we don't want to be a passing team and do everything that you're saying. It's just that right now, with the youth that is there and not having an alpha male to help on that line right now, it is and it won't be there. The only example I can give you is 2016 when Brendan Albert began with Laramie Tunsil. That team at the time tried to be a passing team. But you know what Brendan Albert told, but at the same time, remember, the line itself wanted to begin to establish the run. It helped Tunsil and it helped the rest of them to begin to understand their pass pro sets better with Ajayi running the ball. And Miami began to be dangerous because nobody began to figure them out. They didn't know whether they were going to pass or run the ball. Right now, this offensive line has no identity with that veteran presence on that line. And what we're seeing is our quarterbacks getting killed. And right now, they don't need to be in that because now they're beginning to look like we're a bunch of failures. We can't sit up here and do what we need to do. We can't even call out sets or call out defensive protections because we don't know who to sit up here and take. It's too much for them right now. Let's separate. Right. That's a matter of opinion. But I'm looking at the record as well as what they are doing on offense. And as much as we want to gripe and complain about them not passing or being proficient enough getting to those open receivers, because I'm with you, the receivers are wide open, but our quarterbacks haven't been able to figure that out right now because of the lack of time that they have to sit up.
You don't need time. That's all about scheming.
So, but I'm with you. Like I said, I'm not disagreeing with any of you. But the only thing I am saying is that we as a team and we as a fan base are beginning to jettison things that we want based on what we want as opposed to what we're able to do. We're unable to do those things right now, and the coaches too have
Right
to
now.
share as much of that blame as the rest of us. But I love y'all. I might continue to listen on the outside. I'm gonna get off. So TD, in case you want to let somebody else in, but peace and let's go Fins.
Good one,
Let's
Donald.
keep it there.
Good take, Donald.
Later,
Good work.
Donald.
Real
Real
quick.
Actually,
Thanks for
both of you were
stopping by,
right.
bro.
Real
All right,
quick.
now
Listen,
y'all take
later,
care.
man.
Nice stopping
Real
by.
quick.
All
Hey,
right,
GG,
and good talking to you, Double
I'll come
G.
back
Thanks
to
for the
you,
insight.
GG.
All right, have a
Hey,
nice
Thanks,
one.
real
bro.
quick, y'all.
All
For
right.
those
Thanks, brother.
people,
Hi, Donald.
Bye bye.
All
Take
right,
care,
Donald.
for those people in the comment section that keep saying, but Watson can't fix his own offense in Houston. First of all, they were the 12th ranked offense in the NFL last year. Okay.
One
Yeah.
more thing. One
They
more
were
thing,
the
TD.
third ranked passing unit in the NFL last year. Like, do y'all understand the offense wasn't the issue in Houston?
You're right. It was
The defense
defense.
was
Yeah.
ranked. The defense
They had
was
two
ranked
sandwich defense.
last.
The defense was ranked dead
90% of the
last.
offense.
Not only were they
90% of the
ranked dead
offense went through
last, but they
Watson.
came out and
One
publicly
at a time, guys.
apologized. The defense came out and
Yep.
publicly apologized to Watson and said,
Yep.
"We're sorry for wasting your prime."
Yeah, that was JJ Watt. That was
Exactly.
JJ
They
Watt.
did
That
do
was
that.
Watson's best
He
receiver,
did
and
do
still did
that.
good.
But the crazy thing is,
They
he
gave
didn't
away
even
DeAndre
need.
Hopkins, and he
They
was still good.
listen. The crazy thing,
Yeah, that's
they
true.
didn't need that. He was throwing 300 yards with practice squad players in one game because Brandon Cooks got hurt and Will Fuller had got suspended. For 300 yards, he passed the Kiki QT for being 50, and I think the other guy that came off the practice squad for being 50. Listen, what the Dolphins need to do is they need to go 5 wide, run halfback draws, and run out of
I've
4 wide
said
receiver
that.
set.
I agree.
And
I
run back.
agree with that.
I've
You
said
can't.
we spread
If you
it
got
out,
11
if
personnel,
you got a
5
bad
wide.
offensive line, you can't go I formation. You have to go shotgun. You have to spread it out so the defense has to spread out, and this going to give you
less
more running
people in the
lanes for
box, let your running
Gaskins.
back get one-on-ones.
Exactly, because
But
Will Fuller, and Jalen Waddle going down deep, they're going to have 2 safeties. If you got 4 or 5 receivers out, they can't load the box because everybody has to be accounted for, especially Mike Gesicki because he's like 6'6". All
But
you
then
got to
what
do is
that
throw the
does
ball up
is
to him.
that leaves the tackles outside one-on-one with the
But
defensive end.
you gotta hurry up and throw the ball. You don't need
Right.
5-6 seconds. When you got 5 wide, you're not gonna get that much pressure because they gonna be scared to blitz. And if they do blitz, you gotta have a quarterback that knows where the blitz is coming from and throw to that side because somebody's gonna be wide open.
The
That's why
slide
I
doesn't
said
give
you
them
gotta
5 seconds,
spread.
so they give them
What you
less
don't
than
seem
2.
to
I
Man.
said you
understand
don't need
is
5
Right,
seconds.
exactly.
No,
All
but
you need is
they
1
don't
to
even
2
give them
to
2
throw
seconds.
the ball.
seconds. They don't
You
give
need
them 2 seconds.
you need 1 to 2 seconds. It don't. That's on the quarterback.
Y'all better stop.
And that's where
You
it
have
turns
to
into
know.
If
protection.
Watson was in our backfield, that man would have all day because they would have to play more contained instead of pinning their ears back.
Because his
Pinning their
legs.
ears back
They
has
have to
But
never
respect his
worked for
legs.
them.
Jacoby shined the most when he was in that when he was in them wide sets because that spread it out the defense and all he had to do was make it
Make
play with
smart
his legs.
decisions.
Make it play with his legs, and that pitch all back in the game. Because with them little slow behind juke moves that he was doing to get in the end zone and all that, make plays on 3rd and short. That's why I don't understand why they went wildcat in the red zone or why they tried to run the ball when it was 3rd and 1. Spread
The reason
everybody
why they
out.
went
Let
wildcat is because he
But that
telegraphed
goes.
his throws.
it don't matter. Tell
I
him to
told
run the
y'all this
ball. Do a
offense
QB
It
only
does
draw.
moves.
matter.
This
It
offense
doesn't
only
because
does
you
moves
gotta
matter.
the
do
ball
you
when they
gotta do a
split it out.
QB draw. He's like 6'3", 250 pounds.
He's
Let
also
the
not that fast.
it don't matter.
But
Wasn't he
he's
making
definitely
plays
not
with his
fast at
legs though?
all.
He's not. It does matter. They can easily
If
catch
it's
it.
one if it's 1 yard
He's terrible.
if it's 1 yard to go, 2 yards to go,
Pure
that's
example
when
of
you
why it
spread the foot.
matters is because when they were in their own end zone, he couldn't get the ball out of the end zone.
That was his fault. He
Bro,
made a mistake. But
it was
listen,
his fault. I agree with you, but
I think y'all
that
feeling the.
that
I think
also
y'all.
made the reason
No,
why
we
they
talking about
didn't
when he was
trust him.
on the goal line, not his own goal line.
I
When he
think
was
y'all.
at the one.
I think y'all failing
I
to
understand that, but if
I
you
think
can't
y'all
get
failing to realize. I think y'all failing to realize what spreading it out does. Okay. First
They
of
don't
all,
know.
if you go 4 wide receivers, right? Y'all have to understand all 4 of those wide receivers on, even if it's goal line, wherever it is, they got 4 men on them. if you're in the open field, they've been playing cover 2. That's 2 safeties. And now I want y'all to think about this. That's 6 guys off of the defense occupied. Now the defense only has 5 guys, and you got a running back. You got 5 blockers, y'all. 5 blockers against 5 guys, and you got an extra running back and a quarterback. There's your advantage.
Thanks.
Your running back, if you roll to your running back, he gets to pick what hole develops instead of automatically running in a hole. You also got a quarterback who has an advantage because nobody's coming at him.
True.
And that's
spread it out.
TD, how did that work for
I said
Tua?
the same thing with Tua. Last year, spread it out, and it was more effective. But here's the deal with Tua. He's not as good as escaping the pocket, because if you can escape the pocket, you make them pay greatly.
For sure.
If you spread it out, you're going to make them pay with your feet. Jacoby Brissett ripped off some first downs for like 10, 11, 12 yards yesterday, a few of them, with his legs, a slow guy.
That's probably what GG was getting at when he was saying that Deshaun Watson can do that even greater.
Deshaun gonna do much more. He gonna eat.
Yeah.
But Jacoby was
Deshaun
doing
Watson
Is Tua running with the ball?
He definitely running.
Let me tell y'all another thing. You remember the play Tua got hurt?
Yeah.
It wasn't his fault he
was
got
under
hurt.
center.
It wasn't his fault he got hurt. I give you that. But don't forget, guys like Deshaun Watson, they put that one move on you and they never get hit.
Not only that, TD, they gonna come to the line.
Deshaun Watson would have probably been a shotgun. He was under center, so he was kind of blindsided.
Even if it was under center, they gonna put that move on and that guy gonna fly missing.
Y'all forgot what Watson did to the Bills in the playoffs. I saw that game.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he destroyed them.
Exactly.
The thing is, I think that when it comes to Tua, he like TD was saying, it's all about being able to change the play at the line, but not only changing the play, but changing the protection too. If you got to go to a different receiver, you got to change the whole protection. So he might be good at just changing the play. Like, okay, well, this guy run a line route, but he's probably not good at changing the protection to go with the play. So you never know. I mean, it's probably just mental, but at the end of the day, a guy like Watson, he been through all that already. He already knows.
You got to remember, Huncho. Let's not act like Tua doesn't have no mobility. He's not like Vinny Testaverde back there, for crying out loud. He's got some mobility now. He's not a porcelain statue.
He's not using it.
He's got an injury that he just overcame. He's got to get back in the groove of being completely mobile.
Right.
It's not excuses. That's the reality of it.
If he runs like he did in the Arizona game, I think he'd be fine.
Yes.
He's actually a lot faster and stuff than he was last year, to be honest.
But you don't want to have him take a hit that's going to injure him, too.
Right.
You got to look at it. You got to look at it. You got to look at it for what it is. Say, for instance,
Tua still got some mobility.
I seen it coming.
We're not saying he don't have mobility.
He's scared to run.
He's not scared to run. He's just
that
not
dude is
not
scared to run. Don't get it twisted.
He ain't gonna outchase it.
You think Lamar Jackson is thinking that when he runs the ball?
I seen him trying to
Lamar Jackson was a run first. Lamar Jackson was a run first quarterback before. He was a run first quarterback.
He wasn't. If you watched him at Louisville, bro, he put up 400 yards every game.
Yeah, because they
but how many times did he run the ball?
They have to watch.
That's because he's a threat to run.
I think he's
a
scared
threat.
to change
if y'all
the
gonna
play
leave him
because
open,
he's
he's gonna run the ball. But he can throw for 400 yards.
Lamar Jackson is the new Cam Newton. That's all it is. He's the new.
No, he's not.
When Cam
Newton,
Lamar Jackson is the better, more improved Cam Newton. That's all it is.
Right, Cam Newton was mobile as well.
Can I ask
Cam Newton is a downhill quarterback.
I'm talking about when he first started. When he first started,
right.
Oh, okay.
No, once the Ravens get a better receiver, you going to see Lamar Jackson throw for 400 yards. Because Hollywood Brown dropped 3 bombs, and that could have changed the momentum of the game. But what I'm saying is, Tua is scared to run the ball. He's scared. He looks scared.
No, he's not scared.
Can I say something?
I won't necessarily say he's scared. He's hesitant.
Can I say something?
That's
You can't
Tua
compare.
not from South Florida either. Lamar Jackson from South Florida, so I mean we all know.
You can't be
We all know
hesitant
what it
in the
is.
NFL.
Can I just
it
say
all
one
depends
thing,
on you
TD?
is.
Can I say anything, y'all, real quick? You can't
Yeah, go
compare.
ahead, bro.
You can't compare Tua to no Lamar, because Lamar didn't come in the NFL with injury-prone issues. That if he get hits the wrong way, he's going to be out. That's the problem.
Right.
Y'all have to
Exactly.
take into accountability.
Right.
Yeah, but
No, but
that's
you
their
can't say
fault for drafting him.
Exactly.
No.
Yes,
You
it
can't
is.
say you
They
can't
should.
say that. You
Y'all would
can't
be
say
even
that.
better with Jalen Hurts. If y'all waited to the second round
We
to get
don't
Jalen
know
Hurts,
that.
y'all would have
We
been
don't
better.
know
don't
that.
know
We know
that.
that. We don't know
Y'all,
that.
y'all do know that.
No, we don't know
Jalen
that.
Hurts has
Yes, y'all
problems
do.
too.
We don't know that. That's the thing where people make assumptions when we draft players. You draft
Listen.
players to fit in the system. If the player don't work in the system, then like TD said, that's a healthy scratch. It's a waste of a draft
Minka
pick.
Fitzpatrick didn't work in the system,
Like,
so we got rid of him.
Tua doesn't work in your system.
How do you know that?
Because it shows from the tape. It shows from the offense. It shows from last year.
Look,
Last
He
year,
was a rookie,
you mean like a
man. He
10
was
game
just
sample
on.
size?
He was a rookie last year, dude.
Oh, I got it.
You have
10
to
game
learn
sample size is
you
enough to
have to
make a
get
decision
adjusted to the
nowadays.
speed of the NFL, bro.
How many rookies look better than him last year?
It don't
Jalen
matter how
Hurts,
many.
Joe
I'm
Burrow,
not.
Justin
Everybody,
Herbert.
yo. I'm just gonna. Everybody developed at different pace, bro.
All right, but that's not what y'all need right now. What y'all need is somebody that's ready to take y'all to the playoffs because y'all a playoff team. Y'all don't need somebody who's a project if y'all
Nobody's
gonna have exactly. But that's what I'm saying. That's excuses that y'all making for him.
That's not
He's
an
not.
excuse.
It's
That's
not
not
an
an
excuse.
excuse.
It's
What
just a
y'all need
fact.
him. So
It's
in
not
the
an
fifth round
excuse.
pick.
So y'all want. So
If they
listen.
if they want to let them develop, let them develop.
But this is what I'm saying. Once y'all let him develop 2 to 3 years later, your team is gonna be bye-bye. Everybody's gonna want to
Maybe.
leave. People are not gonna want to
That's not always
resign.
true.
Gesicki is not gonna want to resign.
X is gonna be 30.
That's why we. That's
Xavier
why we
Howard's not
drafted
gonna
Hunter Long.
Hunter Long. Listen,
That's why. If you think that's why
you
you
think you
drafted
think
him.
you think you think them players on your defense is going to want to come back when they know they quarterback is not good enough? You
If
gonna
they
think
Money,
believe,
anybody
As
wants to
long as the
sign?
money's there, they're gonna come back. As long
money
as that
talks.
money's there, they're
BS
gonna
walk.
come. That's a fact.
They haven't even been spending money.
Until you make all the
Because
money you want to
Y'all got
make, and you
100
want to
mil
win a
and
Super
has
Bowl.
y'all have 100 mil
honestly,
and not spending
reason
no
they
money.
haven't spent, honestly, bro, they have a reason why they haven't spent the money. I can't tell you why. I can't tell
I
you why, but
can.
heck,
It's
I
yo,
y'all.
can.
go ahead. Is it Watson?
It was a
Hold
plethora
on.
of
Let me say
linemen,
something. Let me say something.
in free
Every
agency, and y'all
That's
didn't
time,
because
go
they
after any
shopping
of
in the
them.
discount aisle
hey,
every time it's
every
off
time
season.
Miami spent money, we didn't get results on it.
You have, yeah. Oh,
We
To be
didn't get
honest,
results.
oh, Tannenbaum. Remember Tannenbaum went to go sign everybody. Look how that worked out. Absolute tragedy.
But y'all didn't need to sign
if
everybody. All y'all needed
Miami
to
was
sign
planning
was a
on
couple
keeping,
veteran linemen. That's all
if
y'all
When
needed
we
to
Miami was
try,
do.
planning on keeping Tua, they would already signed the offensive tackle. They would have gave away a first round pick for an offensive tackle. So that obviously they're not planning on doing that
They not
at
planning
all.
on keeping to it.
I
Yeah, they
mean,
go
Let them develop somewhere else and go get a quarterback that can get it done.
think about it. We could go get plenty offensive line right now for a first round draft pick. But
Yeah,
I mean,
They'll go get a
but that's
court.
not the
They'll
offensive
go
line
get
is not really
Watson
your
before.
problem. The
it is
They'll
our
go
offensive
get
line is not
problem.
really
They'll go
your
get
problem.
Watson before they get an O line.
I mean,
Exactly.
you
The
Well,
need an
yeah,
quarterback is
offensive
your
line.
that's the
problem.
most
You
likely
need
The
scenario. Don't mean
quarterback
they
is your
will.
problem.
if you don't.
What happened? The Texans was still a problem before they got Laramie Tunsil and they had a shitty O line. I mean, a crappy O line.
but you got to understand, our offensive line can't be that trash. Though. Like
It's
we
They're,
not.
couldn't
That's
get,
they're
why I
not.
said it.
Look at this
But
last
it's
also, Larry
impossible for it
Tunzel
to
was
be that
already
trash.
We
developed
average
when
The
he
like
got traded.
quarterback,
27 QB hurries every game.
It
The
got to be
offensive line
something
is
else.
trash.
It got to be the
Tua
communication
is making them
because
look bad.
These are kids. These are kids
I'm
who are
not saying that. I'm
elite.
not agreeing with that. I can't agree with that.
You
I
want me to
can't.
break it down?
I can't agree with that.
He's not
Liam
calling
I
Eichel
protections.
cannot
had a
He's
agree
not
great
with
getting the
that.
ball out
I
fast
cannot
enough.
agree with that.
He's not calling his protections. He's not getting the ball out fast enough. He's not hitting the open receivers. Like,
And I tell
you
you
want me to keep
also,
going?
why isn't the
That's an
center
interesting talking
also
point
supposed
that
to
y'all
help
been
out the
peddling for
quarterback?
the last 3
The
games.
because you got to
center
think
is
about it.
Well,
young.
go ahead. That sounds
You
good. That's
can't
good
have
Oh
talking.
wow,
you
okay.
can't have a whole squad full of young people and expect everybody to know what they doing. They don't know what they doing. That's why I said y'all needed to spend money on getting somebody on the offensive line that could call out protections that knew what they was doing,
It's not
like
the. It can't
like
be
the
the O
center
line.
Lindsey,
It's
like the
We done
center
brought
more
in
than
Lindsey.
just
He
calling out
helps
two
protection.
different
the
linemen the
center,
last 2 years.
the center for the Chargers calls out all the protections and helps out Herbert.
Veteran.
But that's what I said. Y'all needed a veteran presence on the offensive line. Y'all could have easily gave him some money and spent that and went to go get him instead of pitting it all on a rookie quarterback and somebody that
It's
and a
not the
whole line.
line.
Hey,
If it was
hey,
the
bro.
line, they would
I'm
already
not.
went
We.
in
Hey, bro.
Quality line.
Hey, bro. Almost even my boy W. Durong wanted the center that the Chargers have right now. But you know what? We can't talk to the GM. They ain't gonna do it. That's GM. They ain't
Exactly.
gonna do it.
But what I'm
Because
saying
they
is
can't
y'all
spend the
need the
money. They can't spend the draft capital that they're going to need for Watson. It's that simple.
Exactly.
no, but it wasn't.
Exactly.
But
And
he
the
was a free
offensive line
agent.
is not
No, he's
trash.
only just spending money.
These
Yeah, he
kids
was a
were
free
elite.
agent.
All these kids were elite in college. How are they trash now? It can't be
They
a
not
coincidence.
trash.
It's not a coincidence that every offensive lineman we bring in can't communicate. It's the offensive line
Well,
coach.
first of all, let's
No,
get something
you got to
straight.
have a
This O
quarterback
Yeah,
that
the
can
line,
offensive
evade the
line
this
pressure.
O
coach.
line.
It's coaching.
No, some of these players on this
It
O
is
line are
coaching. That's a
not.
fact. It is coaching.
Some of these players on this O line are not trash. The
Are
problem
not trash
is,
at all.
They just playing like trash. They're not trash. They just
No,
play like
everything. Excuse me. Everything they do wrong is amplified. Number one, and number two. If a quarterback and a center or whoever y'all want to call it would call the protections correctly, they would also make better decisions.
Jacoby looked better.
Also, I
Jacoby
got a
looked better
question. Yo,
behind the offensive line than
all
Tua
the O
did.
linemen playing at their right position is the real question.
It's
No,
not that. I'm telling you, it's the communication. You could see in the last all 22, you could see Robert Hunt and Sonny McKinley bumping into each other trying to pull. I mean, that's just a mental mistake.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a
but when the
mistake.
last time Corey Linsley played guard
but
or
did
tackle?
the offensive line look bad last game?
Nope.
With Jacoby Brissett behind
Parts
it?
of them,
Why? Because
at
he was
some parts,
evade.
at
He
some
was
points they
evade.
At
did.
some
He was
point, every
evade
O
Every player in
line
their
does.
position.
At some
Listen,
point they did.
At
but
some
Jacoby
point, every O
Brissett was
line
good
does.
at
Every
evading
O-line
Did you
pressure.
see Dak Prescott on Monday Night Football with his touchdown given up in the end zone? It was worse than our safety because it was a
Yep.
touchdown. The O line gave it up. The play before that, he was getting beat up. Every offensive
Exactly.
line gives up some and have points where they're not playing well.
And Jacoby
We just
Brissett
amplify
knows how to
ours to make
evade
our
pressure.
quarterbacks look better.
The Colts, who have
I
one of
just
the
want
best
to. I
offensive
just
lines
want the
in the
O line to
league,
protect our quarterback. I don't care if
Hold
it's
on,
200%.
TD.
They
Explain that
are
one further,
protecting the
TD.
quarterback.
Huh?
You got to go much
Not doing a
more
good job
nuanced
right
than that,
now.
TD. TD, you
Hold
got to
on,
be
hold
more
on.
nuanced than that.
What do you mean I have to be more
You
nuanced
don't
than that?
really.
It's simple. Hold on. It's simple. Let me explain it to you. It's simple what I'm saying. Every offensive line in the NFL give
Even
up
Brady knows how
plays.
to
It
evade
has
pressure.
moments where they look bad or make a penalty.
True.
Tom
And
Brady, the
and,
Tampa Bay O
and
line
Tom
didn't look
Brady,
so
saying
Tom
good.
something
Brady is
about
not mobile.
we're
Tom
saying it
Brady is
to
not
make our
mobile.
quarterbacks look good.
No,
You gotta think about.
I'm not saying in general you. What I'm saying is people in general, they will
Oh,
amplify the issues of the O line. And they
Right.
put it like this: they'll say the O line is just atrocious for one quarter, then they're average for 2 quarters, and they're great for a fourth quarter, right? Just hypothetically say that's the mix, right?
right.
That atrocious moment takes over.
For the
People,
rest of the balance of the game,
this is what
Yeah.
comes out of their mouth. They were atrocious for 3 quarters, and then they
Right.
finally did something in the fourth.
But
They
why
don't
did the O
call it
line?
there.
Why
They
did the
let
O line
bad
look good?
moments. They let bad moments shadow the
Define.
whole picture.
The remaining 75% of the game, yeah. Well, yeah,
But
that
why did the
happens.
O line look good last game? Because
Because
Jacoby Brissett was evading
they
the
Because he was
adjusted.
getting
pressure.
rid of the ball quickly.
Jacoby Brissett was evading the pressure. Tom Brady is not mobile. Tom Brady knows how to
What?
Does
evade
he need to be
pressure in the
Tom
mobile?
Brady
pocket.
is as mobile
Tom
as
Tom
Brady
Brady's a
knows
Need to be
doggone goat.
mobile?
Tom Brady knows how to evade pressure in the pocket. He knows how to step up in the pocket. He knows how to slide to the left, slide to the right, and
Yeah,
evade
you
pressure to
can't
set up
compare
his
Tom. Yeah,
blockers.
that's true because
Okay.
Tom
The
Brady
best
doesn't have
I'm
thing,
not
the best
comparing
thing
Tom
Tom
Brady
Brady
to Tua.
does,
I'm
Tom
not
Brady
comparing
doesn't
Tom
have
Brady
to
to
but
run
the
Tua.
away
best
from the
thing,
pressure. How he
Exactly,
slides
but
his body,
Tom
how
Brady
he
is
slides
killing.
his body, puts his player in a position to be back in the blocking position again.
Exactly.
But
Hey,
I'm not comparing him
and
to
not only
Tua.
that,
But
though,
what I'm saying is Tua needs to
Tom
learn
Brady.
how to evade pressure by stepping up in the pocket, sliding left, sliding right to help out his line. They don't
And a
have the
lot
best
of times,
offensive
I
line,
want
but
y'all to
Tom
notice
Brady knows
something.
how to make them look
That
good.
could be that could be inherited overnight.
No. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all what another problem that Tua has. I watched Tua slide up in the pocket, and he creates a beautiful pocket again, but he thinks that it's gone, and he starts to panic and starts to run. When, like, I've seen plays, he's back to pass. The right tackle
He
got
ain't
beat.
scared. He ain't scared.
Right.
That means he just don't have confidence.
I saw plays
In his
where
own
he's
line.
back to pass.
No,
The
he's
right
scared.
tackle, hold on, the right
He ain't
tackle gets
scared.
beat. The right tackle gets beat. And then Tua steps up and allows the right tackle to get back in a good position. Now you got another 2 seconds, but you run like it's all over.
That's a
Because he's
fact.
Instead of
panicking.
extending the
He's
play and
panicking.
send a receiver on a deep route to get one of those big chunk plays. Yeah,
But
those come with time.
he runs into the pressure sometimes after he's already done his job to give himself more
To
time.
extend the play.
More time.
Right.
Right, to
And
extend the
he's not.
play further.
He got to
To
look
extend.
downfield. He can't panic.
I know it's a
You
short
take away
sample
his. You
size,
take
but
away.
I like how
Right, that's
he.
what I'm saying. It's gonna come with experience.
I know it's a short sample size this year,
The
but I
more
He don't have that
experience
already
time
Brady's
like
no
gonna
more.
get,
I already like how he handled the pocket last year more than he did in his short stint this year.
Facts.
Well, yeah,
But
I
because
think last
you
year
got
he was
more
have
more
time
time
to
he was more
develop
than
him.
this year. Yeah,
Y'all don't have time to
that goes
develop
without
him. Y'all
saying.
not
They
gonna
got in
always
the
have that great
off season
defense.
this year, off season. That helps.
I can let me
Yeah.
say something to a
I
point. Let me say
agree.
something to a point. If you trust in the system, you ain't got to worry about players coming back. Because if they believe in the coach, they're going to come back and respect the coach of the system. So you cannot
Are they
say
gonna
that.
believe in the
Because a lot of
quarterback?
teams,
They didn't believe in the quarterback last year.
He was
I mean,
learning just like
The,
he was learning just like the O line was learning.
initially, the upper brass didn't
You
believe
just
It
in
don't
expect him to
matter if he
come and be
didn't.
the
If
great
he
team
right
didn't.
away.
believes in the quarterback.
Is that what you? Is that what you think, or is that what they tell in the media because they have to?
Man,
No,
Tua need to feel like he's trying to
that's what
feed
they're
his
When the
telling
family,
offense is
man.
everybody.
not moving the ball, do y'all think they believe in the quarterback?
Tua not playing like he's trying
From
to
a
feed his
coaching
family.
standpoint, they probably don't. But for as
I'm
far as the
not going to.
teammates, they believe in the quarterback.
I believe in Jacoby Brissett from this little game that he played more than Tua.
I don't.
And what gives you that impression?
Yeah.
Nah,
Because the
I
offensive
don't
don't
see
line
agree
it.
with
looked
you on that.
better. The
I don't
offensive
agree
line
with you
looked
on that, but
better.
I'll take
He
Washington.
made
I'll
more
take
plays
Washington.
than Tua. He made more X factor plays
I
than
agree.
Tua.
I
When it
agree
was
with
fourth
him.
and long,
And he scored the same
he
amount of
made them
points that Tua
completions.
scored.
Listen, I
Was he
agree
in
with.
more than Tua?
I actually agree with him. And here's why.
And all beyond
If we had a
when
great
the
O
Dolphins
line,
start look when,
if we had a great O line, Tua would be perfect for what we do. But with the goal line not being great, Jacoby Brissett is better suited to handle the pressure. Jacoby Brissett in an entire game was sacked 2 times, y'all. The pressure that was coming against the Raiders, Tua would have been sacked 6+ times.
Exactly, and he made X
How is
factor
that?
plays. He was the
How are you
reason.
so sure about that?
Jacoby Brissett was the reason why
that's
y'all
because
was
Brissett
able to
better
get into overtime.
before the play snap. That's because Jacoby Brissett is better pre-snap. He makes the reads like TD during the call during the game. When
He
they
was
blitzing off the edge,
evading
Brissett's
pressure.
reading that.
Then he pick up first downs. Then he scored with his legs when the play went to crap.
Man, at this point, y'all just talking
Yeah,
like
you're
the
right.
defense.
He did
Like
score
the defense supposed to
with
just
his
let them
legs,
score.
just like Tua did against the Patriots, and he did it twice last
Right,
year.
that's what I'm saying.
You
It's
got
not even
it.
about that.
Exactly.
It's our offensive coaches.
Good
Our
observation.
offensive coaches don't let our guys play, man. Like in
It's
when the
not
game was
about
on the
none of
line last
that. You know what it's about?
5
You know
minutes
what
of the
it's about?
game,
It's
Hold
about
on,
no.
let that man
It's
finish.
when the game was on the line, when the game was on the line though, in the last 5 minutes of the game, our offense started snapping. We started going downfield. We started taking chances. Everybody knows in overtime you ain't gonna get that pass interference call to get at the 1 yard line. But if you throw that in the first quarter and you throw it again in the second quarter, and then in the third quarter you try 2 more times, you're gonna get those calls. Our offense,
Exactly.
it's not about our offensive line. It's not about
Exactly.
it's not about we got the playmakers. It don't matter who's quarterback back there. We got to open this thing up, man. It's the dumb stuff
Exactly.
we
With
do.
five
That
wide.
falls back on coaching.
That's
You know
what
what
I
I
was
mean?
saying, Lewis, from the
Who
beginning.
talking?
I agree, but we still went for the win last game. That
Who
bothers
just
me.
said
Yeah,
that?
saying
yeah.
That
is
was
That's a
Lewis.
From a
fact.
Good
team
job.
standpoint, yeah.
I agree.
Jacoby
I
has the bigger
agree.
arm to get it downfield. Jacoby
Man,
has the bigger
y'all
arm to
act
get it
like y'all
downfield.
act like y'all don't want to use no context in no realm. Bruh, if they were running too high for most of the game, and then at
Send
the
three
end of the
reps.
game they stopped running too high, and
Exactly.
you would get one-on-ones, you don't throw them shots in the first, second, and third quarter. They were
No, I
running too
understand.
high.
No, I
And if you
understand.
know
Packers,
But
anything
Chiefs,
about
Bills,
Josh,
if they
Texans
running,
do it
if they
regardless.
running, hey,
You have to
if they
dictate
hold on.
safety.
CD,
no,
to
I
your
agree
point,
with that. But if
hold
they
on, let me
running
say
too
something.
high,
Let me to your point, TD. If you see they running too high, everybody either played football to know if you're running too high, you attack the middle with the mismatches. You take what they give you, and Miami wasn't taking it at all.
No, if they
That's
running
they were
too high,
also
if
running
y'all
cover
running too
4,
high,
bro, which
listen, if
covers the
y'all
middle
running,
of the field.
if they running too high, what you need to do is overload that zone.
That's
They
what
was
I'm
running
saying.
cover
But
4
Kosicki
too, bro.
wasn't.
Listen.
But Kosicki wasn't used until the last minute of the game, and that showed the difference. When you use your threat weapons, it opens up the field. Why wasn't Kosicki getting the ball in the first,
That
second,
That's what I said.
why wasn't he
when we
getting
I
the
said
ball?
he needs to be their
Why
first
was he?
read.
But that's what I'm saying. If they're running that, and you got playmakers, if anybody played football in here, if somebody's running the cover 2, you attack what they give you. Miami wasn't attacking because they didn't have
If they running cover,
That's
if
a
they running cover,
Right, they
do
wasn't attacking.
because they don't know their identity of
hey,
what they have on offense.
Gasicki was
And that's the
open all
problem.
game.
I
Gasicki
gotta
every
That's
time
disagree
we
with you on that, brother.
no, if
I,
they
I
All
running
right,
wouldn't
cover,
every time we threw at
hey.
Gasicki.
Too many people are going, but let me say this real quick. I'm just gonna have to do a film study on the all 22 because I've already seen the all 22. Let me be clear to y'all. First of all, they were attacking the middle. That's where Jacoby Brissett fell off. He wasn't throwing it. Just like when Tua is in, just wide open guys, not throwing it, already picking you where you wanted to go. That was the beginning of the game. The only argument based off of what I saw on film that's worthy, I looked at Gesicki's route combination. I put it on the let me show y'all real quick. I looked at Gesicki's route combination. The only thing that I will give anybody as an argument where you can blame the offensive coordinator is why don't I see any seam routes on this?
None.
Yeah.
Because
stress
if you run Parker and Fuller deep on the outside and you run that seam route, one guy gotta have at a minimum single coverage.
They didn't put Jalen on those teams?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's called scheme.
But Gesicki is the guy you do it with.
Right.
Running right up to me.
He's your biggest target. That's why you do it with Gesicki.
You throw it up and he gonna go get it.
So
I don't remember us completing no seam passes.
That's the only thing I would say in that regards, because you got to make the safeties decide. You got to make them pick a man.
But TD, that's what I'm saying.
You're right.
To
You're failing and letting the defense off the hook.
To your point, if we had a consistent basis where we was attacking and coordinators was calling the right plays, because when me and my mom was watching the game, right, and they throw that dumb pass into the end zone, I was just like, who's calling the plays? Who's calling the plays? You don't run that type of play at the goal line. You don't run. You have 5 receivers set, and on the first read, he had Smythe open and he missed them and went to Waddle in the end zone. That was stupid. Who's calling them plays? Please,
At the end of the day, you call
already
it
was his decision.
The coach was already wide open 6 yards out.
Yeah, but I'm saying, if like TD said, and TD, I respect you for saying this. TD makes a brilliant point. If you're a quarterback under the hunt under the plate, and you want to change up something and make something better, but you think that's not going to work, and that's what TD. I can respect what TD saying.
So
stop
letting these coaches dictate your future. Let me tell y'all something. The real leaders, it don't matter if they know that if they feel like they right, they're not gonna let these coaches dictate their future. They're gonna go out there and do what they feel is best. and you gotta put it on your back. If it works, they ain't gonna say nothing. If it don't work, you gotta live with that.
Exactly.
Like the
I,
play when
I,
we was
when I,
like the play when we
Either
was in
way it goes, they
overtime.
should have audibled out of that play entirely. Just
That's what
scrapped
I'm saying. But who when we was what down was we was in overtime and we did a pitch to Kasicki. Who called that play? Why are we calling plays like that? Like TD
that was a
say,
good
open it up.
play.
I was watching this one. No,
That was a good play.
like, but no. What TD
Execution
say
was
is
bad.
TD point is when you see that and you're in overtime and the offense, like somebody said, the offense is rolling. Why would you call something like that so conservative? Do TD said.
You basically went away from what was working.
You went away and it cost us the game. We had 14 points. Nobody can sit there and tell me, oh man, it was a lot of no. I need to know who the coach is this because I felt like I was watching a high school varsity game and a part one game with them play calling. Because
Bruh, you could call the plays. You could call the plays. You can't play the offense. At the end of the day, the players got to play.
Yeah, but what TD said.
Yeah, but if you're giving me soup sandwich to work with, how am I supposed to tell the rest of the fan club that I just had steak for dinner when they just served me up soup sandwich?
But TD made a point. TD made a valid point. TD, can I say this real quick? TD
Yeah.
made a valid point. Why would you go away with something that was working when you was in the shotgun play? Why would you go away that? Why would you go away from that?
With our current state of the offensive line, the Miami Dolphins need to spread the offense out 4 receivers at a time with a tailback next to you on your hip. And you either run the ball out of that or you throw the ball out of that. But that we need to see the pressure coming and we can pick the defenses apart all over the field. That's what we need to do.
Question, TD. Yeah, I agree with you. We should run that, but but my thing is, are they too stubborn to stick? Are they just too stubborn to stick what they got, what they have, and not switch at all?
Yeah, I mean, that's the things that we don't know, or they're just incompetent. We don't know.
My number one mantra has been discipline, 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 discipline. No discipline offensively to stick with what's working. No discipline defensively to get your head in the game and stop making costly penalties that extend drives on the opposing team. And no discipline in the special teams when it comes to make key plays in the special teams to stop fumbling the ball at key moments of downs and distance and make makeable field goals. Just no discipline whatsoever across the board from top to bottom, from Stephen Ross all the way down to the bell to the water boy.
Facts. I can't disagree. I can't disagree with that. I cannot disagree.
All I'm gonna say is this. All I know is this. I'm just saying it now. To a positive note, we gonna win. We gonna win our next game. I'm confident. We gonna win. We gonna win.
Well, we better. Hey,
We
y'all,
gonna
but
win.
it's been 3.5 hours, man. I got all my work done on my end. But I got to get up out of here, man. But I appreciate y'all coming through. We're gonna try to do this more often. All right.
Of course.
I appreciate you.
Good one, TD.
Oh, it's been a blessing.
Hey, good debates, good
Appreciate it, TD.
arguments, good back and forths, no fighting and all of that. That's what it's about, man. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
Hands
we want
up,
to win that.
hands up.
Take it easy,
Appreciate
TD. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Hands up,
TD. Good one.
Later, TD.
Later,
Bye,
man.
TD.
Be easy, man. God bless everybody.
All right, TD.